very good morning. Welcome to a beautiful Tuesday morning, the 11th day of August 2026. Is the day the Lord has made that we should rejoice and be glad in it. It's a beautiful time to be with you. Are we grateful? I want to say a very good morning to the entire country. So I say good morning. I salute the entire Ghana. Welcome to the day the Lord has made that we should rejoice and be glad in it. God has been faithful with us. It's another day, another beautiful day to bring you the morning focus on MBN TV, your trusted morning companion for the stories that makes the headlines. Also, we're looking at issues and conversation ideas that will shape our nation, life, and our nation, Ghana. I am El Samuels, and today it is going to be a couple of things that is going to happen today. I have with me one of my young friends who will be joining me later on the show. He's called Nathan. Nathan will be on the show with me. Don Winers will also be joining us. And again, Bernard Agbemo Eduji is also here to be joining in a short while, but in between time and now, it's going to be the first phase of it where I'm here together with Wendy Nadu Latte, who joins me on set this morning. Let me say a very good morning to you, Wendy. How are you doing? How is the experience like to be here in the morning to be on the morning focus?
Okay, the first time I'm actually reading news, I was a bit nervous, so I was able to follow through.
Okay.
It's like I'm a bit familiar with the camera now, so.
Okay, so now you're getting familiar with the camera. Great story. Yeah, so from the latest news to sports to national policy, health, politics, business, and the issues that matter to you is what we're looking at this morning. We have a packed program ahead. This morning, our focus is on health. I know you ask why, because good health is not simply about treating disease. It is about prevention, awareness, as well as healthy choices and building a society where people can live longer and better. That is what we want to see. We want to be like, you go to Japan and people live like 100 plus and they are still accounting. We'll also be examining the growing challenge of hypertension. It's becoming one of the menace. When was the last time you checked your BP?
It's been quite a while now. It's been quite a while.
No.
You should do that.
Do you know the size of your shoe?
Absolutely.
But you don't know the size of your BP, your heart.
I know, right? That's so bad.
It's a bad stuff to do. So from here, just the pharmacies around us, or you can walk to Lekma, the Wellness Center, go and see Mrs. Chikata, and they'll do it for you for free. So we'll look at hypertension. We'll also look at how the decentralization could accelerate development. The question the state of Ghana's democratic institutions and put the spotlight on a $1 million US power bribe scandal, the call for a fresh investigation. We will also hear from political party representatives on whether Ghana's political parties are doing enough to protect and also strengthen our economic institution. Plus, we have our news headlines. Sports is gone. Weather, traffic updates, our scripture focus, African proverbs, and your views throughout the morning. So stay with us this morning. And this morning we're going to do that. Like I said, I am El Samuel. Before you step out this morning, whether you are heading to work, school, the market, or setting out on the long journey, knowing what the weather has in store can help you plan your day. So what should you expect across the country today? So we'll bring you to the weather and its update. Right after that, we'll look at the traffic situation across the entire country. So coming up, like I said, we'll bring you the weather. Is it Nadu? Is that the name, Nadu?
Yeah. Nadu, but we don't need that.
Oh, so that Nadu is your name. Firstborn. Oh, okay. So every firstborn is called Nadu. What about if it's a male?
Okay, you can have like 30. It varies depending on the particular house you are coming from.
Oh, it varies depending on the particular house you're coming from will determine whether you should be called Nadu or any other thing. Is that it?
Yes.
Right. So you're going to help us with our weather and its updates this morning. Then right after that, we do some scripture reading. Then Miss Nadu Latte will take some leave of us. But in between time and now, we're turning our attention. We're looking at the weather and its updates. So if you could check your weather updates, we tell our people before they stepping out, they should plan for the day. So let's take a look at the weather situation across the country and what the weather update look like. So stay with us for further updates as the condition changes throughout the day. But first, let's go on the screen. I think MCR Arnold is ready before we do our first commercials. So Arnold, if you're ready, let's look at the weather and how the skies is going to look like. Then we'll turn our attention to bring you the traffic and the situations across the country. And then I'm doing this together with Miss Nadu Latte before she say bye-bye to us. When we were coming, how was the weather like this morning?
Okay, it was actually not yet daybreak, so I didn't actually know, but it was a bit cloudy. Yeah,
all right, so you can take us through the weather now. What is the weather? It's on the screen. It's like Miss Nadu is not getting the signal for us. Okay, so let me do this straight away. Let me do this. So the early hours is expected to be misty and foggy over the coastal forest and all hilly areas with a likelihood of a rain over part of Oti region. The afternoon will bring intervals of sunny and cloud cover with thunderstorms or rain likely to develop over parts of the middle transition as well as the northern sectors from the afternoon into the evening. The temperatures for the next 18 hours, the coast will be 23 degrees, the minimum and maximum of 29 degrees. Forest 23 degrees minimum and maximum of 31 degrees. Transition 22 degrees minimum a maximum of 31 degrees. The northern sector, 23 degrees minimum, a maximum of 33 degrees. Relatively cool night and early morning temperatures are expected across the entire country. So please take note, relatively going to have a cool weather in the morning, and relatively we have evenings that will also showcase some temperatures. So that's our weather and its updates. So that is it. So that was your weather update. Stay with us for further updates as the conditions changes throughout the day. Away from the weather, we turn our attention to the traffic update and also its alternative. Now from the skies to the roads, that's how I call it. From the skies to the road is another working morning, and across our regional capitals, thousands of commuters are already on the move from Accra to Kumasi, Takoradi, Cape Coast, Temale Ho, Sunyani, Koforidia, Bogatanga, and beyond. Traffic conditions can change within minutes. So before you leave home, we want you to know where the congestion is building, where delays are being reported, and where possibly which alternative routes could save you valuable time. And that is the weather, the traffic situation that we're going to look at in the next minute. But what do you make of the weather? The weather and its update. So from the weather, you had the temperatures, relatively cold morning, but it's going across the entire country, but the temperatures will change as the time build up across the nation. So now let's quickly look at our routes for the morning, the routes that you can use to get to wherever you want to get to in the next 10 of event. Now, good morning once again. In Accra, motorists traveling around Osu, Jamestown and adjoining areas could expect some increased pedestrian and vehicular activity as the Charlie Water week continues. Do you know Charlie Water week? Have you heard that festival before?
Yeah, the Charlie Water Festival. Mostly in Accra.
Mostly in Accra. So there's going to be some build-up around.
I experienced one around 2023 when I was still schooling.
Wow.
In Accra. It was massive, like people going up and down, everywhere is occupied.
Wow, you don't mean it. So you've experienced it before?
Experienced it before.
And how was it like?
It was really nice. It was massive. People from everywhere comes around. They just walk, like music being played, ads being displayed. There's a whole lot, and it's fun. It's really fun.
All right, so once again, we say good morning, Ghana. It's time to check the roads and find out how traffic is building across the country. So whether you head into work, school, the market, or traveling between regions, this is your opportunity to plan your day before you get caught in the morning. We begin in Accra. Motorists, you expect some usual morning pressure on the major corridors, particularly around the Tete Kwashi 37, the Ring Road, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Carnation, Kasoa, and the Tema Bound route. All these areas will be having some feel of the happenings across the country. We'll bring you some updates from MCR. We'll put up some of the routes for you to see the build-up in the various areas of cities, from the Achimota to Accra to the various areas you want to head towards this morning. So you take a cue for it. I did mention 37, the Ring Road Central is all building up this morning already. The 37, the Kwashi Carnation, Kasoa, Malam Road. If traffic becomes heavy around the central corridors, motorists should consider using connecting routes through Adenta, the N4 corridor, Liberation Road, and other available inner feeder roads, depending on their destination. For Tema bounds coming to the Shiashi areas, the Boundary Road is also an alternative for those of you from the American House East Legon and the North Legon as well. So you can use the corridors around there. For our motorists in Kumasi, commuters should watch the major approaches into the city, particularly the Swame, Asokwa, Edreso, and the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. That's the Tech Junction corridors. Motorists traveling from Accra towards Kumasi should also take note of the latest situation on the Accra-Kumasi N6 road, Brimso, where a crash has caused significant disruption and traffic diversion. So when you get in towards those areas, you should look at the traffic diversion around that area as well. So those are the situations you can see on the screen. The build-up on the motorway is also coming up. And also, where necessary, motorists should follow police instruction and use the designated diversion routes rather than attempting to force their way through the affected sections. In Koforidua, commuters should expect increased pressure in the main approaches into the city. If you're traveling between Accra and the eastern region, N4 through Adenta, Eburi, Mamfe, and Koforidua provide an established alternative corridor to the main Accra-Kumasi routes. Cape Coast, watch the major routes connecting the city center, the university area, Kotokraba, and then the Accra Takoradi corridor. If congestion builds around the city center, motorists should consider the available connecting routes rather than entering to the busiest commercial areas unnecessarily. For motorists in Takoradi, the wider Sekondi Takoradi area, watch the Kojo Chrome, the Market Circle, Sekondi, that's the Takoradi Cape Coast corridor. Those heading towards Cape Coast Accra should check conditions before beginning the journey, particularly where construction works are ongoing. For commuters in Ho, watch the main approaches into the regional capital, the Ho, Adaklu, and Ho Kwando corridors. They should consider and commuters to look at it. So For commuters around Damango, Nalerigu, Gosu, Tishiman, and Dambai, in those regional capitals, we encourage drivers to monitor local road conditions as well. And also a reminder to all our road users, wherever you are in Ghana this morning, remember, traffic is frustrating, but rushing can be fatal. As the traffic is frustrating, but rushing can be fatal. Avoid dangerous overtaking. Don't use your phones whilst driving. Keep a safe following distance. And if you encounter an accident or traffic obstruction, slow down and follow the instruction of traffic officers. For those traveling at the Accra Kumasi Highway, take a particular care around the affected sections. Follow police diversion currently in place. There's a diversion there. So if you're on the right road right now, send us your location and also the road you are using on WhatsApp on 0537 158 is the numbers. Tell us where the traffic is building up and where you know of a better alternative route. Morning Focus, keep you informed before you get there. We're going for our first commercial break. When we return, some more conversation coming up. Stay with us. All right, so welcome back from the quick break. And now we're turning our attention. Now we turn from the road we head to the path that guides our life. And when I say the path that guides our life, it is time for the scripture focus brought to you in association with the Maranatha Power Ministries International, located behind the Lekma Polyclinic, Nungwa at Dugono. Last stop, when you get there, you ask for Maranatha Power Ministries International. They will give you the direction to the place. And this morning, we're having the moment of miracle. It's happening this morning, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. All you need to do is to come and let's pray, let's worship, let's share the word. And they're supporting us this morning. Also, don't forget that the 30th anniversary is still, we got 20 more days to go. So get yourself be part of the 30th anniversary celebration of the Maranatha Power Ministries International, located at the Nungwa at Dugono. From the 1st to the 6th of September is a 6 days power pack with the men of God coming. We have an Apostle General Sam Kwanchi Ankra will be there. Apostle Dominic Alote, all the way from US of A, will be there. We have Apostle Itzaki, also gracing the occasion. We have Apostle Mydrod Brandt, Lloyd Brandt is also coming. Dr. Stick Nichols will be there. We have Apostle Lamte also coming there. Prophetess Namsom Hatshell will be in attendance, and Prophet Richard Odro. Is going to be an awesome time to be in the presence of God from the 1st to the 6th of September 2026. 6 days, morning and evening. You can't mix any. Morning is 8 a.m., evening is 6 p.m. There will also be afternoon section for training seminars in between it. You can't afford to mix the 30th celebration, the journey so far. Not how far God has brought us, and we're celebrating the goodness and the faithfulness of God. Come and be part of the 30 years of impactful ministry, 30 years of transformed lives, 30 years of God's faithfulness, and 30 years of God's goodness. Come, let's celebrate it. So make a date. That numbers on your screen you can call, so you can donate, you can be a partner to the celebration from all walks of life. You can give into the works of God to get the village people to also come. And also don't forget that the homecoming is also coming off from the 28th to the 30th of August. Homecoming is also coming up. So if you've passed through the ministry, you want to be part of this, supporting us this morning to bring us the scripture for this morning. It said, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassion never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And that is the scripture for this morning. There is something powerful about the fact that scripture speaks of God's mercies being new every morning. The mercies of God being new every morning. This morning, wherever you find yourself, you lay your hand on yourself and say, Lord, have mercy on me, on every aspect of my life. Disentangle me from every entanglement right now in the name of Jesus. And if you do it by faith, it works, because God is there to save you. Yesterday may have been difficult. You may have made mistakes. You may have faced disappointment, some financial pressure, some rejection and uncertainty, or even failure. But this morning, you are here, because anytime God wakes you up, it means there's a purpose to fulfill. And that means that your story is not over. It's a part of the process. The writer of Lamentation was not speaking from a place of comfort. These words came in the middle of a difficult season, and yet in the midst of uncertainty, he was able to recognize something greater than his circumstance. Great is your faithfulness. I like the latter part of the scripture. It said, great is your faithfulness. Lamentation 3:22-23. That's a scripture for this morning. Great is your faithfulness. Sometimes we measure God's goodness by what he gives us. But God's faithfulness is also seen in what he keeps us from. What he carries us through, the strength he gives us to keep going. So as you begin this day, don't allow yesterday's disappointment to steal today's hope. I said, don't allow yesterday's disappointment to steal today's what? Hope. You have received a new morning, a new opportunity, a new 24-hour on a clean slate, a new measure of mercy, a new season to trust God. Your circumstances may have changed, but God's character has not changed. So step into today with faith. Whatever you are facing today, remember God's mercy brought you this far. It has been mercy all over. But don't forget, the Bible said in the book of Jeremiah, I choose whom to have mercy on. It's the same way I choose who to have favor on. But he says his mercies are new every morning, and great is his faithfulness. He that has called you is more faithful enough to bring you to a perfect end. God's mercy brought you this far. His faithfulness will carry you forward. Good morning, Ghana. And may this be a day of renewed strength, renewed hope, and renewed faith. If you've listened to us, now I invite you to be part of the Moment of Miracle this morning, 9 a.m. at the church auditorium. We're going to sing, we're going to praise, we're going to worship, we're going to give God all the glory. The numbers on your screen, you can call these numbers for direction. It's happening this morning. Sharp. Listen, every Tuesday. I said, what? Sharp. Because for me, I'm leaving, I'm going there, I'm going to lift. We'll lift our hands and voices. I'm going to be there to lift my hand and voices and give God who has woke me up this morning. And I believe that he's woke you up. It's not your alarm that woke you up. So all road leads to the Maranatha Power Ministries International this morning for the Moment of Miracle. Your miracle awaits you. So see you there. And as it for this morning's scripture reading from Lamentation 3:22 to 23, go and read it. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. As if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It's very important to go together. Very important. We live in a world that often celebrates individual achievement. We celebrate the person who succeeds alone. We build alone, rises alone, and takes all the credit. But African wisdom reminds us that the lasting progress is really an individual achievement. A family needs cooperation. A community needs cooperation. A nation needs cooperation. And even in our personal life, there are moments when we need someone to encourage us, correct us, and support us, or simply walk beside us. The deeper lesson is about collective responsibility. Ghana cannot develop simply because one person has a good idea. We need institutions that work, leaders who collaborate, citizens who participate, and communities that take responsibility. Any political actor who understands that national development must be bigger than partisan interests, go alone, may get you somewhere quickly. But going together gives you strength, diversity of ideas, and resilience needed to go further. So today, ask yourself, who am I walking with? And perhaps more importantly, who needs me to walk with them? These are the two different questions you need to ask yourself. Nadu, who are you walking with? Or who do you need to walk with? Because sometimes the greatest contribution we can make is not now. It's not now how far we can go alone, but how many people can help us move forward with us is a key thing. Interesting, isn't it?
is.
Right, so on the screen you see the moment of miracle. I want you to be a partaker of it. Join us later this morning, 9 a.m. sharp at the Church Auditorium, Maranatha Power Ministries International. I want to say a very good morning to the Bishop of the House, Bishop Noble Francis Afotuodai, and Reverend Mrs. Valerie Afotuodai, the entire clergy, from Pastor Ashute, Pastor Ablo, and all the lady pastors. You know, I'm not good at names, isn't it? Mama Julie, I remember the name. Pastor Mama Julie. Good morning to all of them and all the leadership of the church and all the church members who watches us 24/7. I salute all of you this morning. Great. Now moving on, let's quickly run you through before Bernard Agbemo Edigi and also Nathan joins me on the show. It's a packed morning, Tuesday morning. And from wisdom that speaks to our individual and collective journey, we now turn to the issues shaping the direction of our nation. And this morning, National Policy Focus, our attention is firmly on health, but we'll also examine governance, development, and accountability. But quickly, now do we need to leave me on set and Bernard comes back. When Bernard comes, we'll look at the stories behind the headlines. But let's start with the New Republic newspaper this morning. The New Republic says Capital Bank ghost return. Otabel breaks silence on Cathedral, but not on 90 million liquidity scandal. I know, and I told somebody that when I saw the story, I know there are some people who, let me keep that word, want to me, stars and MPPs and Sawam power projects. Power Ministries ghost in the dock. Yoko targets assets as Bekum bribery case widens. Boa upholds Ademo's revocation, blows over a 3 years cover-up by Akufo-Addo's rotten regime, with a picture of Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Akufo-Addo's diplomat and brethren in the Washington scandal is also on the New Republic newspaper. MPP's hopeful reveals dangerous playbook, describes the party office as a propaganda factory where lies are cooked to deceive public for votes. So those are the stories on the headlines. We'll later go behind the stories and then I will look at it, where I will be joined by Bernard and Nathan. But in between time and now, those are the first headline stories on the New Republic. Away from the New Republic, let's do the Searchlight newspaper. The Searchlight is CSO's call for a referendum on Mahama's third term bid. Kwabena Donkor denies a $1 million bribe in an ongoing AXA energy scandal. Stories on the Daily Searchlight newspaper. The others provide adequate resources for teaching of ICT in schools. Government edge. Afenyo Markins reject proposal. Vindicta claims over Sammy fees and gold board. Story on this Daily Searchlight.
Okay, so I also have with me the business analyst, and on the front page of my newspaper it says Minerals Commission takes over Adamo's mine. I also have Kwabena Donkor rejects bribery claims. Also on the same page of my newspaper, which is a business analyst, I also have IGP promote 25 police personnel for outstanding crime fighting efforts. I also have Gold Board to roll out gold traceability system this year. That's all for today on my newspaper.
Let's do the Hawk newspaper. The Hawk says NPP's 3 million demo scandal. They blew 3 million to get that crowd. Mohammed CD order. President wants local crude paid for in cedis, not dollars. AXA bribe bomb. Name me, link me, meet me in court. Don't call. Kill for Jana. Cleric puts on police radar over a call to kill for Prophet Muhammad. I got it wrong. Pastor Adebayo retreat or no tithe, no heaven. Story on the Hawk newspaper.
And now let's do the daily graphic, which says Adamus Resources mining leases revoked. On the same front page of the daily graphic newspaper, Jonah Capital evokes Paris ICC over River Park Estates dispute. This story will be seen on page 13. Also, Asantehene commends GRA for improved revenue generation.
All right, so those are stories on the daily graphic. Ministers act on review committee's report. Company owes $2.256 million US right fee, 377 million royalties and taxes. Story on Adamus Resources. Now let's do the Spider newspaper. Islam doesn't license mob justice. Muslim Council backs police probe into cleric violent rant. Summon me tomorrow. Gold board dares parliament. Iyoko hands Ghana's bribe money. You have the Vice President Opoku Agyemang to grace Agotime a festival ground derby on Saturday, and also have the Bekunse Iyoko hands Ghana's bribe, and also Zigman warns drivers against charging unapproved transport fares. Is also on the front page of the Spider newspaper.
Moving on to other newspapers, I have the Daybreak newspaper, and on the front page it says Collins Adomaku rates Asante Mine COKE 10 posts. Also, I'm not cheap. Boaha pose Adamus lease revocation. Also, GBA tells CJ respect legal vacations.
All right, so we do the National Enquirer. We have 10 big changes. New Cocoa Board bill with the man, Dr. Abiy, on the front page. Ofosuwa Mpofu thanks Mahama, VIP Chief of Staff and others. Adamus Mining Lease Council, Lands Minister. Asan Central breaks ground for ultra-modern 24-hour market. Thousands of jobs expected. Mahama pledges stronger state-church partnership. Story on the National Enquirer newspaper.
I also have with me the Ghanaian Times, and on the front page it says Ghana's tourism revenue hits 4.34 billion Ghana cedis. The story will be seen on page 12. Also, government tightens sanitation accountability for MMDCs. On the same front page, food vendor jailed wrongfully freed after 4 years. And I also have expand drone services to cut maternal death. On the same front page, Renew Gold fails lease in national interest. Also, UBA Ghana ranked #1 in customer satisfaction, second in consumer service quality.
Away from the Ghanaian Times, the Daily Guide said pastor jailed 10 years for 78,800 fraud. Couple drop honeymoon for prison inmates. Extol MD 1 million bribe. Kobna Donko denies receiving money as Iyoko expands probe. Don't assent Cocoa bill. NPP to Mahama. KNUST admin strike over Alawa. Stories on the Daily Guide. The archive says 965 women died from childbirth in 2025. APL corners are to forcing gold board over Gunrap Records demand full disclosure of program document. Gomashi pursues land minister over deeds of assignment on mining firms. Minister donates tricycles to Ho Teaching Hospital for patient shuttle service. Stories on the Archives newspaper. The Daily Post, 1 million bribe, former power minister Donko denies allegation, threatens legal action. Health minister call for collective action against rising cancer burden. And minister upholds revocation of Ademos resource mining lease following independent committee review. You can now drive without your license, but you must remember the number on it, MTTD. That's interesting, isn't it? Interesting stories there. The Chronicle, say government takes over Ademos resource mine. NPP to Mahama, don't assent to the cocoa bill. Kobna Donko, I am not a bribe taker. I have never met Asante Beko in my life. Osajifu Poly Armor Foundation renovate female prison health facility. Chronicle has those stories and more. So that are the headlines on the Chronicle.
It's like Adamu's stories all over the newspapers today. Okay, now let's do the Dispatch. And on the front page it says, Nana details strong working relationship with President Mahama. Also, Paul Afuko vows to unite MPP and lead MPP back to power. Also, I have Kukula Sewura receives keys to the Yagbon Royal Museum.
It's Kukula Sewura.
Okay, Kukula Sewura. Okay. So, Kukula Sewura receives keys to the Yagbon Royal Museum.
The Dispatch. So that happens to be the final newspaper for this morning. News headlines. We'll be reviewing the papers right after this break. Stay with us. All right, so welcome back from the quick commercial break. This morning, I've just been joined by Bernard. Bernard, a very good morning.
Good morning, El.
How are you doing?
Good. And yeah, hope you're good too.
How for you? It's another day.
Yeah, beautiful Tuesday morning.
So there's nothing you can push yourself but to work for God, for country.
For country.
That is more important thing for us to do this morning. You heard the news headlines. You saw the scandal, the 1 million power bribe scandal. That's got to need a fresh investigation because like that has been the running story on almost all the newspapers this morning. Everyone is talking about 1 million. So from the wisdom that speaks to our individual and collective journey, we now turn to the issue shaping the direction of the nation. And this morning on the front banner, like I always say, the front banner, the big question has to do with the 1 million power bribe, which is a running story on almost all the newspapers this morning. We want to look at the. Have you gone through the allegations of what has transpired so far?
Yeah, let me say good morning to viewers. One day say it never go end. Yeah, so I've gone through it. I've tried to read through a little what the U.S. Investigators have found and what is the way forward for Ghana. And for me, I have an expectation. My expectation is that this case will be well investigated by Ghanaian officials to come to its conclusion. And you see, when some of us argue that we need the office of the special prosecutor, it is for some of these cases, it is for some of these reasons, things that would have been, if not, let me use the term, uncomfortable for the Attorney General's office to investigate and prosecute, for the obvious reason that, there are political interests and all of that there, at least for now. I know that the Prof. H. Prempeh's report has suggested that the Attorney Generals be a separate ministry altogether, and not under, there shouldn't be a government.
The point is that every Ghanaian, I've been one of the advocates that I've always said that let's separate that entities. Let's move the
Attorney General from not being a cabinet minister.
Being a cabinet minister. Because the point is that if you're in cabinet, how do you prosecute your own?
Yeah, so that's why we need the office of, and I know from what we have heard so far, even that entity, the office of the special prosecutor, actually gave us some information or collaborated with US, the entity that did the investigation and all of that in the US. So at least they have some background knowledge to this case, and so they will be able to do a good job. And for me, I don't think there should even be a difficulty at all, because they have actually established that there was wrongdoing. There was the paying and receiving of bribe. That has been established, right? Although I understand that crime is, the lawyers will tell you, is jurisdictional. So what constitutes a crime, or what would count as a crime in the US may not necessarily be a crime in Ghana. That is there, but when I look at what has been done, paying and receiving bribe to secure contracts is both a crime in Ghana and the US. So if it has been established, then why not? So I am looking forward to a very thorough investigation like what the US people have done. Let's follow suit and do. I believe in the special prosecutor and his people. I know that they are capable of doing a good job. But you see, when did this thing take place? At the time when Ghana was going through one of the darkest moments of our lives.
We're talking about the
Dumsor era. Where, I remember those days in senior high schools, when we were preparing to write WASI, we would be in prep, studying, and then light to go off. So we have to close and go and sleep. Look, hairdressers, barbers, hospitals, schools, media firms, all bought the brand of Dumsor in this country. Homes. So this was one of the most dark, a critical moment in Ghana's history, where we were trying to find solutions to resolve the power crisis we had at the time. And then some officials decided that in the midst of all of that, while Ghana was trying to secure, power plants to provide light for its people, for its citizens, for its manufacturing companies and all of that, small scale businesses, others were also just thinking about how they can make small, or make, get something from those deals or those efforts that the state was putting in place. Look, when I listen to some of the terms they use, holy rain and all of that, using private mails, when in actual fact it was not accepted and all of that. And I mean, I understand that AXA actually secured the deal later on with the government of Ghana when Goldsman pulled out, the entity that Asante Beko was working for, which is Goldsman, actually pulled out because they saw some things, some fishy.
If you go deep into the file, at a point, Goldman Sachs withdrew.
Yeah.
And then Asante resigned from that entity to run a different thing on his own. So more or less, if you look at the files that came from the US and that of Yoko, OSP, they are not party to whatever matter has gone on.
Goldsman, that is Goldsman. Yeah. Yes, because they pulled out.
They pulled
at the time when the bribes were paid.
And he also resigned.
He resigned as whatever of the company.
Yeah, he resigned, so he has nothing. So they
are not part of this, because even at the time when those bribes were paid, they were not part of that. But if it is true, and look at it, is not just executive. We are talking also about parliament. Per what I have read now, that some monies were paid to some members of parliament,
some members,
because the deal would also go to parliament for approval.
And some of them traveled to Turkey to go inspect equipment. So people were giving like $5,000 for coming to do the inspection, which is also another form of bribing.
Yeah, I have seen the names of the people that constituted the Energy Committee of Parliament at the time.
That's right.
And guess what? The interesting thing is that
both sides.
Both sides.
Yeah.
And for me, I have seen some of the things, the power minister at the time. These are still allegations. So
no, he said he's not taking anything.
He said he's not taking anything. And his lawyer across the political divide, they were both in parliament, and I know they were friends. I mean, the Honorable Kwabena Donkor and Kwabena Tahiru Hammond. Kwabena Donkor NDC, Tahiru Hammond MPP. Interestingly, at the time Kwabena Donkor was power minister, his lawyer now, Honorable Katie Kwabena Tahiru Hammond, was the ranking on the Energy Committee.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that both of them have questions to answer now. The chairman of the Energy Committee at the time had questions to answer. All the members of the committee, because now it is an allegation against them that bribes were also paid to members of parliament, and per the workings of parliament and securing government contracts and all of that, I am thinking that it is for them to approve the deal, right? And so some things might have gone through, but as I am saying, these are still allegations.
They've not proven. But
they've not proven.
The question you need to ask yourself is that if yes, the convention provides enough grounds for Ghana to pursue or intensify a fresh investigation, not because of the convention automatically, it establishes guilt on the Ghanaian side. Well, if you look at what has happened, there's a guilt on our side.
Yeah.
As a nation, it's really doesn't order well for us as a country going forward. It means that leadership is failing us. It means the people that we've entrusted the destiny of this nation into to lead us are failing us. If if we really want to be up to this, this matter, this matter has come up before.
Oh yeah.
It died off.
Yeah.
You see, it came up. This is something that happened 2014, 2015, 2017.
2017.
You get it? So, and there's a special advisor to the ministers who also pocketed some $250,000.
You see, so
there are big of money
that were paid. What I'm even looking at is the fact that, look, so how did this thing work? AXA is an energy organization. Let's call the energy company. They can build power plants for countries and all of that.
The idea is AXA want to build a power plant.
It is one of the companies bidding. They had actually not been accepted.
Yes, they were bidding to get that offer to build the plant. Because
so if they have to pay bribe to secure the offer, it means that there were some things at stake. That is what, for me, because I read psychology, when I'm reading some of these things, I look at the psychology of it. There are 5 companies or 10 companies bidding to secure a contract. Which contract is to build a power plant in Ghana? How did Goldsman come in? Goldsman was trying to raise, as an investment bank, trying to raise money for AXA, right? And well, before AXA could secure, before Goldsman could secure their deal with AXA, they have to make sure that AXA had actually secured what? The contract. In an attempt to secure the contract, government officials were bribed by AXA as a company in order to secure the deal. And my question is, if AXA had to pay, if an organization, a company, had to bribe its way to secure a contract, then there should be something. You know what I mean? There should be something. Either their cost, because we are talking about competitiveness here. What is their cost? What would be the cost of AXA partnering Ghana to do business with Ghana be on the Ghanaian purse as compared to the other competitors, other companies which could have secured the contract? So I am looking at it from that angle. If a company had to pay bribe to officials to secure a deal, there must be something else. You know, the energy sector and all its debt crisis and all of that. Successive governments have to be paying energy sector debt. How can we have all those debts? Is it because of some of these deals we have heard when the MPP took over? One of the things I remember very well was that, and they had to do what they call whatever, was the fact that some of the deals that were secured, the power plants and all of that were secured in order to solve Dumso under the NDC were too much. The cost of those contracts, the cost of those power plants and all of that were just outrageous. So they have to actually relook at all of them and all of that. Could some of these bribes and all of that contribute to the energy sector debt and everything we are struggling to do or manage the energy sector? That is the angle I am looking at it from. As for the bribe there, that is one thing. But what was the effect of those bribes on the Ghanaian coffers, on our energy sector? These are the things that are of interest to me. But as you have said, our officials are failing us. That is it. That is why I always question the motive of people who want to get into that is where the thing starts from. It starts from our values. So you want to get into politics. You want to become a leader. What is your motive? Why do you want to get into politics? There is no person who really wants to contribute to the development of our country who go into politics and then get involved in some of these things. So it is the mentality, it is the motive of our politicians. If they are there just to enrich themselves, that's why you are talking about the monetization of our politics and all of our elections. If the person has to pay that much to go to parliament to secure a seat or a vote, do you think when they go, they will also find ways and means to, recoup, as it were? So, you see, the motive of the Ghanaian politician, that is why I get worried when I see young men who don't have any profession, who don't have any expertise, and it's all about joining a political party, being vocal, speaking out, and then by the time you realize they'll be made a CEO of something, they'll be made something somewhere. What is the expertise of that person? What has that person achieved in private life or even in student leadership to merit such positions? So let's begin. Look, if we continue on this tangent of the kind of politics we are doing, you are scandal way. See,
the point is this: there's a lot of scandals that is also coming up. There's a lot that is there already. This is just a tip of the iceberg of the first one that has just hit us in the face as a nation. If a Ghanaian official is proven in court to have taken a bribe, then they should not end with resignation or public condemnation. No, we remember. You saw in the newspaper a paper, and I don't want to talk about the newspaper, but to attack a clergy for saying that it's worth it if we should have a cathedral built, and then boom, somebody gets offended about it and then goes to attack the person with a Capital Bank gold stuff. And I think we're not doing ourselves well. I mean, there should be criminal prosecution in this matter. There should be appropriate imprisonment and recovery of the proceeds of the corruption. If you should ask me, because Ghana's anti-corruption framework allows the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate and prosecute corruption-related offences, and also to recover or confiscate the tainted property for the state. So the consequences should include criminal prosecution. I mean, you can come and tell us I did not. Who was then? Because the document shows that there was a minister there.
There was a minister. So the
document says that the minister was a compromise.
Conspirator one.
Yes. The document also say that there were members of a committee that traveled to go and inspect equipment. And those people also received some amount of money. Then they said there was an advisor to the minister who also received money.
And you know what? You know what just came to mind? This is just one company. This is just AXA.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
Just one of the companies bidding for that contract.
So what happens?
So what happened? So what if all the others also paid? Because for all you know, this one came because Asante Beko is a dual citizen of the United States.
They are able to
so probably because of that. So what if there were others?
And he was extradited from the UK.
Yes.
He was hiding in the UK.
Yes.
He was extradited from the UK. Assuming Beko is here in Ghana.
Could we have done it?
That's the question.
In fact, we even have thought of.
Even think of it. I get it, because the recovery of stolen or the illicit gains. I mean, any money, property, or asset proven to have been acquired through the bribery should be traced and recovered for the state. And the OSP has a specific asset recovery mandate to do that. The consequences shouldn't be the disqualification from the public office. If you are found guilty or legally applicable, you should be picked up. I mean, a conviction should be appropriate.
Yeah.
Consequences for holding public office, subject to Ghana's constitutional, statutory provisions, should need to be confiscated. I mean, we need to take all those things. And I think it's becoming a disgrace on us as a nation. Because this pattern of corruption, now we have transcended the borders of this country and we are now international.
International corruption.
So I'm just wondering how many companies have been there to come into the nation, and just now we need to investigate all the companies that comes into the nation.
And
who leads?
And one thing we should also take serious is actually scaling up, or training or reinforcing the competence of our state investigators and prosecutors. Because you see, the money no mobile, which means that if somebody like that is to go for a lawyer, they will go for the sharpest of the brightest. Lawyers. So for such people, no, when the state is investigating, you need sharp investigators. You see the Sedinam case. Look, the appeals court didn't have any choice than to acquit Sedinam. When I saw the news item, I was so angry. In fact, I was bitter. Until I read through the ruling, I realized that the court had the prosecutors did a poor job. And I'm telling you, if we don't reinforce our prosecution.
It's not the prosecutors, it's the kind of investigations we do. And that we are always in a hurry. That's the
especially when it has to do with our political opponents.
So we are always in a hurry to bring a closure for everybody to know that, oh yeah, that sort of a thing. But I think that we with this power thing that is coming up, we need to review of the power contract itself. Needs to be taken a look at all sectors that has come in. Remember, there was some review also that came in that it became a banter between the FY administration and then the Minister of Energy. On the same scores of things that came up. So if bribe influences the award or terms of power sector contract, Ghana should examine whether the transactions cause financial loss to the states. That's one thing we need to look at. And if it does, then here's man's role.
And you know what? So it's still an allegation. So if indeed a company had to pay bribe to officials to secure a deal, do you think that when they are giving us outrageous costs, do we have the right to question them? You see, all of these things will feed into the kind of debt we are living in the sector, in the various sectors. I'm not surprised that we have such huge debt at the energy sector. Because if you are going through some of these deals, people are paying bribes to secure contracts and all of that. Why don't they give you take or pay agreement and all of that? You know, so look, for me, I am still saying that it is still about the motive. Why people get into politics. And sometimes too, with the greatest of respect to our ministers, with the greatest of respect, sometimes it is not the ministers, but it is just because they lack the oversight. Yes, sometimes they lack the oversight. And that is why for me, sometimes, if not for the cost side of it, I don't think, especially for some critical sectors, the ministers in charge should be members of parliament. You will have a divided attention. And some of these things can go on in the dark without your knowledge because your attention is divided. Especially getting to elections, you are thinking of competitive, constituencies. You are thinking of how to win the internal election in your party before going towards the general election, how to win and all of that. You may, especially when it's getting to elections, some of these things can go on and you may not even be able to scrutinize the deals enough to discover, wrongdoings.
Or somebody can be in the office being like repping the minister.
Yeah.
He'll be collecting.
And he'll be collecting the money. So look, we need. Okay, I understand that because of cost. If you want to appoint people who are not members of parliament as ministers, their salary is, you will pay more in terms of salary and emolument than if the person is a minister and then member of parliament and then minister. But for some critical sectors, for me, like education, like health, like energy, like agriculture, we should let the person focus on that ministry, not have people with divided attention and all of that. All of these things, for all you know, Kwabena Donko was not. For he is innocent.
Maybe there's somebody even within the
office. If he had been a little critical, he would have been able to uncover some of these things. But member of parliament, power minister, the attention may not be, utmost on the latter. So, Charles, these are all things we should consider. Little things, little changes we effect in our leadership, in our governance system and structure can bring about significant changes. Yeah, that is another angle I am looking at things from.
Well, for those of you out there, what you make of it at 05371586. Joining us right after this break is the man called, you know his name, Don Winers.
Don
Don will be joining us right after this break, and also we'll be introducing one Nathan. Also will be coming in right after this break. right, so welcome back from that quick break. You realize that seatings has changed in the studios. Now I found myself in a different angle of the morning and want to say a very big thank you for joining us. And seating, I did promise you that today we have a packed house. My co-host is here, Bernard Agbemo Eduji is here with me. Don Winers, who speaks for the NDC, is also here with us. Nathan, what's the full name?
Nathaniel Nunu.
Nathaniel Nunu. Is it Nunu Mensa?
No, please, just Nunu.
Nathaniel Nunu is also here with us this morning. And we're looking at the topic which has become democracy under attack. Protests by the MPP and wider concerns about constitutional trust. At the same time, the current survey shows that Ghanaians still broadly value democracy, even as corruption, polarization, and weak institutional confidence remain concerns. Is one of the things we'll be looking at this morning. Ghana has been a democratic success story for more than 3 decades, with competitive elections, peaceful transfers of power, and constitutional governance. But today, an important question is being asked. Is Ghana's democracy becoming stronger, or are political tensions and partisan interests putting our democratic institutions under increasing pressure? That's one of the things we want to examine. Recent development, including the opposition MPP democracy under attack demonstration, have reignited debate about the independence and the credibility of institutions such as parliament and judiciary and other state bodies. At the same time, research suggests that Ghanaians continue to value democracy, but concerns about corruption, political polarization, economic hardship, and declining trust in institutions also creating frustration among the Ghanaian people. Political parties are at the center of this conversation. They don't only compete for political power. They also have responsibility to protect democratic system within which that competition takes place. So, are Ghana political parties living up to that responsibility? That's the first question then. Are they defending institutions, and when those institutions make decisions they disagree with? That's my second question. Do political parties respect the independence of the judiciary, the parliament, the electoral commission, and other institutions? Do they? And perhaps the bigger question, when political interests conflict with institutional integrity, which one comes first? Those are the questions I want us to look at. And this morning on our National Policy Focus, we put that question directly to our political party representatives who are here, activists and also representatives. Let me start with you, Don. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Don Winans.
Yes. A faithful Don.
And also is Nunu Nathan, and also I have my co-host Bernard Agbemo Eduji. Let me start with you, Don. Don, just by the way, before we go into this conversation, what do you make of this power scandal?
Right, before I come to the power scandal, thank you. Let me say good morning to the NDC party chairman, General Mosquito, and the Achukluga Mensa Basa, and good morning to the regional chairman, Honorable Ashimo, my regional executives. Good morning to my constituency chairman, Chairman Bright Ablekuma West, and good morning to the communication bureau, my boss, Yaomenu, and all the team. Let me say good morning to the pastors and imams in this country, the trotro drivers and their mates, and all Rastafarians. Now, let me go on the Aska energy issue. Honestly, if indeed a bribe has been paid to anyone and the person has been convicted, the person deserves it. 2, if any other person is found culpable, the person must be punished.
Okay.
Yes. I don't speak for them, and I'm not holding brief for them. I speak for the party. And the case did not mention that the NDC party has received bribe. And for that matter, I believe that whoever is involved, any individual involved, should face the full law and then be dealt with according to law. So bribery is not something we are promoting. Yes. So as a communicator for a political party, if someone has been involved in any bribery scandal, I think the right thing to do is to allow the law to take its natural course.
So you believe that if the court finds those people culpable
Yes.
of what they've done, then they should not. It shouldn't end with resignation or
They should be punished.
public condemnation.
They should be punished according to the
You
law.
believe that there should be a criminal prosecution.
They should be
on
punished
this
according to
matter,
the law.
and also appropriate imprisonment and recovery.
Whatever, you see, every crime has the corresponding punishment. If the corresponding punishment remains 20 years in prison, so may it be.
And confiscation of
assets, so may it be. Whatever it is, must be done.
Is that leadership failing us as a nation? Looking
The person involved or the person in the center of all
no,
this.
what I'm saying is that not in this matter.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to bidding, we have people who lease. I know this person I can.
We have lobbyists.
We have lobbyists who does stuff of this nature. Fine, I don't have any issues of being a lobbyist to get whatever I want to get. But when it gets to the point whereby it's like we're trying to fight this word called corruption.
Yeah.
But it's really eating it now. We are transcending from the nation and going beyond the borders. It means that there have been things that have been done, but because nations, not like the US, who want to go into what hits your accounts, where comes from those monies and trying to trace, it's like some of these things have lied low. But are we not feeling our people with this behavior?
Yeah, but you can't also say we can't put up a blanket statement that we are failing our people because the person who did that is an individual. So he does not represent any faction of this country.
Let me put it in good context.
Yes.
Have some people been put in leadership really failing
this gentleman involved, the Beko guy, is not in any leadership position.
No, I'm not talking about
politically
him.
or
I'm talking about Josh. Would it have done some due diligence?
You see,
when the moment they see the dollar, the more FT.
You see, there could be a very good reason for this thing coming up. Okay, the thing is, the guy actually did not even use Ghana, and the former minister has said that he knows nothing about it. So in our local language, you can say that we did a good account.
Allegedly.
It's not allegedly. We did a good account because the guy, the substantive minister has denied knowing anything about it.
No, the point is,
so it's not one allegation. We did a good because he has been convicted. It's we did a good.
Done. What say when who aye? Should be up aye. Who send the pan work we are there. But that's the last time.
Oh, and also I agree with you. That is why investigation is needed.
Yes, so
you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
If we should find anybody culpable,
the person must be dealt with.
I mean, it's a danger.
No, because see, I won't sit here and be saying that the person must be dealt with. Even if he's an NDC person, the person must be dealt with.
The person must be dealt with.
Yes.
Ranking.
We are building a nation.
If you look at the person ranking member on the committee,
he or she must be dealt with. He or she must be dealt with. Because you see, if it happens that someone very influential in the public domain or in government or whatever is part, it serves as a very bad precedent if the person is not dealt with. So my stand is that the person must be dealt with, irrespective of
the person must be dealt with.
which position he holds or she.
Nathan, 1 minute on this.
So
how did you receive that news? Are you excited about it? Watching our little in the public?
Mr. Samuels, before we dissect on that issue, I contribute my quota on that issue. I would want to send out a special good morning to you.
No, send it, even to the president.
Oh, of course, I would rather prefer to greet His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the incoming president of the Republic.
Yeah.
Yes, so
politics.
Yes, so I was quiet the entire time Don was speaking, so
Okay, so-
I trust Don would give me that same iota of respect. Yeah, it looks like a fine gentleman.
They are good.
Yeah, so I would want to say that when we get opportunities like this to be seated on platforms to discuss issues, to contribute to the national progress on issues, I believe that it is right that we consider the audience as well. And then it is not because we are the smartest of Ghanaians, that is why we are seated here, but then it's to educate the people listening to us. And so a special good morning to Mr. Samuel Tetefiu in Udododudu constituency, a very fine gentleman. And even though he does not hold any political power, he has been consistent when it comes to building youth in the constituency. And then a special good morning also to Mr. Kofi Tonto, the political aide to His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, my boss. And from what Don was saying, we can only arrive at one conclusion: that Don has pronounced the man guilty. Because from all he has said, and then have in mind that in our jurisdiction, when it comes to law, it is important to note that until the person has been proven guilty, until a court of competent jurisdiction has proven an individual guilty, it is very poor on our end to dictate that the person is guilty. You get it? All I'm saying is that Don, in his submission, wants to move away from the blame. He wants to play a bit of blame game. That if the name is Kwabena Donko, right?
Yes, Kwabena Donko.
Kwabena Donko. If it is true that Kwabena Donko has squandered such amount of money, then it's between Kwabena Donko and his God. But then I believe that shouldn't be a stance that Don should take this morning.
That is Don's. How do you call it? That is Don's position as an individual. He holds a right.
Oh, of course.
Decide.
Of course, he holds the right to
You can't
decide.
force Don.
Oh no! I don't want to force him.
No. You can't
I don't want to force Don to hold any particular position on this matter. But then I feel that from where he's coming from, it is unfair that he wants to shift away from the entire conversation that, it's between the man and his own people. But then have in mind that, Don, you speak on behalf of the NDC. And then should, in case, after the complete investigation, it comes out that Mr. Kwabena Donko is actually guilty, then it's not just Mr. Kwabena Donko's name that will be in the newspaper. The name of the NDC would be in the newspaper as well.
Until we arrive at that, we cannot say that he is guilty or he's a party.
And that is what I'm saying.
So for now, we'll leave this matter to slide, and let's go into our main subject for this morning: democracy under attack. You speak for the NPP. You come from a constituency that you believe that but on the 6th of August, right? Democracy was under attack, and that same 6th of August was when Ghana is remembering the 8th fallen Ghanaians who perished because they're going to save lives. They're going to talk to people for us to do a meaningful mining responsible instead of protecting our water bodies. We lost it, but your party choose to go on that score to go to the how do you call it?
A demonstration.
A demonstration. Now the question is, this debate have been ignited as to about the independence and the credibility of institutions such as Parliament, judiciary, and the state bodies. I'm asking you, is our Ghana political parties genuinely committed in protecting our democratic institutions, or only when those institutions serve their interests?
Okay, so thank you very much for the question. And then I don't know about the political party of Don, that is the NDC. So when it comes, because you said political parties in general.
Yeah, in general.
So as for the New Patriotic Party, since time memorial, or since the inception from the days of UGCCC to UP, to today MPP, the New Patriotic Party has been consistent in maintaining or developing the democratic tendencies of this country, and there is no doubt about that. But then, before I proceed to more substantive issue, you raised an issue that I feel that it's necessary that we address it before we can make any progress on this issue, and that is in relation to the date, the set August date that was set by the MPP to embark on the democracy and the attack demonstration. People, you are not the first person to talk about the dates colliding with that of the memorial date for the gallant men who died in the course of illegal mining. But then what we have to understand now is on the matter of principle first. Now, based on principle, the 8 gallant men that died, it was a sad event. It was a tragic event for the entire country. But then we are in a country whereby the government, after 38 people lost their lives in flood, and then 5,000 number of people lost their houses or their various homes due to this flood. The following day or few days later, the government was in white celebrating Thanksgiving. That goes to tell you how inhumane the NDC government is. That after 38 people have lost their lives due to flood, and then 5,000 have been displaced when it comes to because of this flood, they go the following morning to go and thank God. You get it? So if people say that the New Patriotic Party was being inconsiderate about selecting the date for which they decided to go on the democracy and the attack demonstration, then that logic is not something that is supposed to be entertained by the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party.
But we all know that the National Day of Thanksgiving was slated, the date was come out, it was earmarked. It's something that was all over. It's not something you can call of whether they're having a disaster.
Oh, that is where I would want to disagree with you. It could have been called off.
Oh, really?
Yes, it could have been called off. Once it was an event that wasn't taking place at that exact moment, and then there were hours or there were a number of days ahead before the program schedule would have occurred, then I believe that they could have called that program off in recognizing the 38 people that have lost their lives due to the flood. So the question about it being an event that has been scheduled already shouldn't be an argument that should hold. It shouldn't be an argument that should be on the table this morning that the event had already been pre-planned. Of course, we pre-plan events, but then due to circumstances, the dates can change, times can change.
But couldn't the NPP also look at it and say, okay, the date has changed. We have the
But on what reason should the NPP change the date of their demonstration? Because if you didn't value the 38 people that lost their lives due to the flood, but then you prefer to value, it's not that the people that they were celebrating their memories, they died on that same day. They had died a year ago. And then if you had followed the trajectory, it was a weak planned event. So if something has been a weak planned event, and then on that day it is colliding with the democracy and the attack, then I believe that the argument shouldn't hold.
Couldn't the MPP choose a better date than the 6th of August?
Then what date would you suggest?
I'm not suggesting, I'm just asking a question.
Because they could I can tell you on authority that there is no other date that was better than the day that they selected, because the timing was right, because the number of people that the NDC had arrested them because of they had said things that the government was not pleased with when we're increasing. As it stands, as we speak today, 2 people are currently being picked up. That is General Buhari and then one NSS guy. Their crimes I don't want to see, because I'm afraid that in case I list out what they said, I might be picked up after leaving the studio.
Well, quite interesting. We have a Nathan Kwao and Nunu in studios speaking with us this morning. And Don.
Yes.
Don, I want to ask a very simple question. When a court ruling goes against a political party,
Yes.
what should responsible political leadership look like?
Which specific court ruling are you making reference?
Then I'm just giving I just asked
You see, any responsible political party will not go out and misbehave. Because today, the ruling has gone against you. Tomorrow, when it goes into your favor, when it goes in your favor, you can't come back and correct the wrong. So if the ruling goes against you and you hit the street and you misbehave, and you have a pending case before the courts, what kind of results do you expect? That is a clear sign of irresponsibility. And it's only useless people who embark on those journeys. Now, let me go to my brother Nuno. You see, the MPP decided to disrespect the dead, the fallen 8 gallant men. They just decided to disrespect them because they knew that day was 1 year celebration.
But you also knew 38 people have lost their life in a flood.
Right. So the flood did not give us a date that was coming. It was a natural disaster. It happened unexpectedly.
So you could have changed the date of the Thanksgiving?
Now, you and I know that when you plan a program, it costs money.
At the detriment of the 38 lives?
It costs money. Notwithstanding that, after the program, they went there. They didn't let go of it. But when you know that on this date is Christmas Day, and on that day is the day you decide to throw bomb in the midst of Christians, what are you doing? It's a premeditated something. No one can say that we all knew the floods were coming on that day, yet we decided to do our Thanksgiving. No, it is not so. But you see, when you are reading things from AI tools, that's what the AI will tell you. So I understand his arguments, because when you use the AI to search for information, they don't look at these technical things. They just give you as it is. But you as a human needs to know that, okay, the AI has said this, but practically it's supposed to be this. So I can't fault him. Until he grow a bit, he will understand the system and know that when AI says something, don't follow AI. If not, you end up embarrassing yourself. So like I said, the flood was unknown to every human. It was unplanned. The Thanksgiving date has been set. Everything has been done. All arrangements has been done. Then flood came.
So you think that?
So let me give you another. Let me give you a classical example.
Give me a classical.
The recent accident on the Kumasi Accra way. So assuming government was to have a program around Kumasi, and they are on their way, and there is an accident, should they abandon it? It killed a number of people, isn't it?
Even on that 6-8, the program still went on.
Of course.
Although we lost the lives.
Of course. Because this is something that is an accident. It's a natural disaster. It has happened. It happened unexpectedly. It's not something that has been planned for. But in the case of the MPP, it has been planned. You see, you plan the thing. What date are you choosing? Let's choose a date that actually will worry them, because this date is the day that these 8 gallant people died for the nation. Let's use that thing, because we know they will go and then mourn them. Let's go and distract it. This is a clear display of disrespect to the dead. That's what they did. But I pray nothing of this happens to them. If tomorrow something of this happened to them and NDC decide to hold a party on that day, you will see the MPP saying that yes, they are showing how insensitive they are. Every English word will come out.
Which are some of the English words that will come out?
Oh, MPP. They will say everything. They will say everything. They will just try so much to justify it that NDC is the worst group of people or the worst political party in the history of the world. Not even Ghana.
The world.
Yes.
You think they
now
will
you
say
see,
that?
when they did say, they have forgotten. You see, when they were in power and they were misbehaving, they were abusing power, They said democracy under attack. Excuse me.
But is democracy not under attack?
Which of the democracy is under attack? This one. Is it this one? Democracy that the wager by people did MPP people led by their MP. What's his name? Jerry. Did a demonstration, got police protection, and no one was beaten. Is that democracy under attack? The same democracy under attack that you today, you have walked all the way from High Street to the presidency. Is that democracy under attack?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, under your 8 years, when you are doing a demonstration, they block from 37. You can't even get 50 meters to Jubilee House. They divert all the road. Was that an attack? If this is an attack, then they raped the democracy then. If this democracy is under attack, then the MPP within their 8 years raped Ghana's democracy. The democracy that you go live show, you walk in, catch the host, give him a slap. That wasn't an attack. Democracy that wasn't an attack, you move to a court, a sitting judge, pregnant sitting judge, chase for her wig to fall down. That wasn't an attack. A democracy that we are here, you lift a placard, open UGMC now, they arrest you. A journalist say that Sewa Bruni is taking someone's husband, then has been arrested. Billboard, cry if you talk about it, they arrest you. That democracy was an attack. If that democracy wasn't under attack,
aren't you doing arrests?
my brother, we are not doing arrest for people who have gone to court and free things. That one we will arrest that one. But if we are not just doing the arrest because we feel like arresting people. You see, democracy has a limit, and free speech also has a limit.
Oh, but under your tenure, nobody did that.
Which one?
Under their tenure.
Under the MPP. Under the MPP.
Said,
the only man within the MPP under the MPP was Kennedy Japan.
People said you.
I said
more people.
I said the only man under the MPP's 8 years.
People too when he made that.
That's his view. The only man under the 8 years, the 8 years of MPP government, the only man among the MPP was Kennedy Japan. The rest were all women. I'm sorry. Because Kennedy was the only one who spoke out to say that no, this is wrong. He was the only one. The rest were cowards. Today they have mouth. And it's so amazing that they go and hide under their bed when Nana-Addo is a president. The moment Nana-Addo moves out of the seat, they come out and be jumping and be showing their muscle. Fake muscle. Where were they? When pregnant judges were chased in court, they couldn't say a word. Was that democracy under attack? It is very shameful. See, MPP, I always say that the MPP I know during Kufuor's time is entirely different from the MPP I witnessed during Nana-Addo's time.
The same thing somebody said the NDC they know during Jerry's time, and the NDC they know during Mills' time, and the NDC they know under Mahama. It's different NDCs because parties evolve.
You can see that within the NDC space, it has improved. Every stage there is an improvement. On the other hand, within the MPP, they are not improving. Whatever they are doing, they are just going down the ladder. Under Chairman, they won't go and sit on the floor. Members of Parliament won't go and sit on the floor. But under this current MPP, we've seen it. Members of Parliament, lawmakers sitting on the floor. Like you've gone to Konkomba Market and you are buying yam. Because at the Konkomba Market, we put yam on the floor. They are sitting on the floor. Members of Parliament. They call themselves honorable. That was very disgraceful.
Are you saying they are not honorable enough?
To sit on the floor, on the high street, in front of a Supreme Court.
That's their choice.
Your choice to sit on the floor. Oh, I see. So I'm wondering what they will say if tomorrow SHS students go and sit on the floor in the process of demonstration. Can they say that what they are doing?
Can they say that what they are doing? Let me
It's
ask,
out of place.
Just before, I know you want to go and do a banter, but I can give you a minute to do a banter. Then I go to my co-host. I want to ask my co-host a simple question.
All right. So it is important that we note this, that here Don has been intentional in avoiding the statement from Martin Pebu, one of the few men who is NDC annexed. He has been intentional in avoiding the statement because constantly referring to that statement, and then he tries to brush the statement off. It is important to know that I am telling you on authority that he has done it intentionally. But first, I wrote certain things down. And then it is important to note that the set against illegal mining ceremony that was taking place in Ashanti region, it is true that the event didn't foresee that an helicopter crash would occur. That is something that it is logically normal, that you wouldn't plan. Nobody foresees an unfortunate or bad event like this taking place.
Just like the flood.
I'm coming.
Just like the flood.
Exactly, just like the flood. You see, I'm agreeing with you, just like the flood. But then there is a place where we draw the line. There is a difference between the event currently taking place and then a difference between the event has been planned, but then it hasn't yet taken place. Once you have this line drawn in between, that is when you tend to make critical and logical, that is when you tend to let critical thinking and logical reasoning take place. Because one has been pre-planned whilst the other is taking place currently. So the set against ceremony in Ashanti region was taking place at the time. That was when the unfortunate event occurred. But then the 38 people that lost their lives, after which the Thanksgiving event occurred, was an event that was pre-planned. And then Don is saying that when it comes to event management, monies have already been invested into it. Excuse my French, monies has been invested into what? Monies over the Ghanaian lives. Have in mind that the monies that have been allocated to this event are monies from the Ghanaian taxpayers. They are not monies from His Excellency's own pocket or Don's own pocket. These are taxpayers' money. My money, your money, his money. So once we have this distinction drawn, we will be able to make better analysis when it comes to some of these issues. Humanity first. 38 people lost their lives, and then what does the presidency do? They wake up the following morning or a few days later, because an event has been pre-planned, they go and then wear white and celebrate the lives of people. The 38 people that died, don't they have families? If don't, I'm not saying, but then assuming that one of your family members was part of the tragic people that lost their life due to the tragic event, and then the following morning your neighbors are celebrating, won't you feel a bit awkward? Because you are not your neighbor. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry. I have a very good answer for you. Finish.
Thank you. What we are saying is that someone related closely to you is celebrated. Is celebrating because meanwhile you are mourning, and then you feel that no, this is something that shouldn't exist. Because if I'm mourning and then it's something that has happened in this country, have in mind that the 38 people that lost their lives are taxpayers. It is their money that you have used to pre-plan this, what we call it, this Thanksgiving. So if you pre-plan this Thanksgiving, can't you say that because I'm putting aside this day to celebrate the 38 people that have lost their lives? After the 38 people lost their lives, what did the government do? They decided to organize a cleaning sanitation, whereby even after clearing the choke gutters and all of that, the refuse are still there. The Metropolitan Assemblies left the refuse on the roads, and then it took some individuals in the society to decide to sacrifice their own pockets money to take the responsibility of the government. That is the government that we are witnessing today. That is the government that we are witnessing today. A government that cares less about the Ghanaian people. Once they take the money, that's all. And of course, Don is enjoying some of this national cake. So when it comes to such topics, it touches a nerve. But then it's okay. Don, hopefully by 2029 you'll be out of power, and so when you feel what the Ghanaian people are feeling today, you also cry. But then what I'm telling you this morning is that have in mind that you won't be in power for long. you won't be in power for long. So when some of these events are happening, and then CSOs, NDC annex like Martin Kwebu are speaking out, just join them and speak out, because Ghana first. That should be the conversation. Ghana first, and not NDC first, not Dawn first. I humbly submit.
Well, quite interesting. But for those of you viewers, you can send your messages to 0537158638 via WhatsApp and SMS, and then I'll read them here. It's a promise. I'll do just that for our viewers out there, for your sake. That's why we're here this morning. John, you want to go in before I go to?
Yes. You see, I'm happy my brother is saying that when there is a natural disaster, it is important for the president to stop whatever he is doing. Just put a stop to everything to attend to it. If he stands by it and he believes in that, then Nana Addo was a wicked man.
No, I'm not.
Reason being that
You can't call Nana Addo a wicked.
No, I'm saying if he stands by that and he believes in that, then Nana Addo was a wicked man, because when the Mepe Akosombo spillage happened, Nana Addo was in the US chilling.
It is unfortunate that you make such arguments. No. Wait.
Yeah, I kept quiet.
No, I know you kept quiet. I know you kept quiet. I know you kept quiet. No. Listen. No. I'm not interjecting. All I'm saying is that don't. You're making this fast.
But it's my time.
No, I know it's your time. But you have to clear certain things.
Allow me.
You have to make certain things clear.
Allow me.
Because it is.
Allow me. Proceed. Because Nana Addo was there simply because he has pre-planned that activity. Today you sit here and say that.
Can you pull that word? He's wicked.
If he believes in that, then Nana Addo was a wicked man. I won't retract.
You've been asked to pull it down, so but then it's your opinion. So you have it.
So you see, Nana Addo would not leave the US to come and attend to the Mepe flood victims because he has pre-planned his activities there. Is it the same?
So he's not with him.
So if he says that he is trying to create the impression that President Mahama, the NDC were insensitive, that is why I'm making reference to this particular activity. Now he made reference. So I'm saying that if he makes reference to that,
Use the word wicked.
he didn't use the word. But if he
his opinion.
if he
Let him
makes
have it.
reference to that, I'm saying that if he believes in that, what he said, that when there is an issue, when there's an emergency, a president, in order to be, to feel for the people, the president, the first gentleman of the land, must put a stop to whatever the person is doing to attend to the emergency. If he believes in that, then Nana Addo was a wicked man.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah. I'm making reference to it. So I'm saying that Mepe, look at the number of people that the man-made disaster affected. Yet, something that is not even man-made man-made disaster, they deliberately sat down for the level of the water to go up to a certain point that it will compromise the integrity of the dam, and now open it, knowing the damage it can cause. They did. Yet Nana Addo didn't leave the US to come and attend to them, even when he came and went there in winter jackets.
Not discussing.
When he came, went there in winter jacket.
Not discussing.
When he came and went to Mepe in winter jacket, he told them that they don't vote for him. They don't vote for him. But yet he has come. He has come to see them. You see, meanwhile, what's happened with President Mahama's case is entirely different. After the Thanksgiving, they still went to meet the people. And you sit here, and President Mahama didn't go and tell them that you don't vote for me, but I've still come. Today, you see everything wrong with that, but you saw nothing wrong with Nana Addo's own. You see, that is why I said during Nana Addo's time, apart from Kennedy Japan, who was a man, the MPP, all the MPP people were cowards.
Mr. Samuel, just a minute. A minute. Nothing more.
I'm holding my co-host.
Just a minute. You see, from the onset of this conversation, I made one point clear. And that point was that I drew the line between a pre-planned event and then an event that was taking place. It is unfortunate that Don has decided, not that he does not have accurate information, but then he has decided to possess inaccurate information to deceive the good people of Ghana and the Republic as a whole. Because when you are well aware that as at the time that the event occurred, the president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was not in the country. So when you sit here to make it look and then draw a clouded and misconceived position that the president was in the country as at the time the event occurred, then it is quite unfortunate and misleading. And then let it be on record that he made a statement that President Akufo-Addo is a wicked man, which you asked him to withdraw, and then he blatantly refused to withdraw. So in future, should there be a case whereby such an event happen, whereby someone holds an opinion of him, not President Mahama, of him as an individual, and then the person is being asked to retract the statement, and then the person refuses to retract, he should have in mind that this is what we call karma, because he made such a statement today, which is 11th August on MBN TV, that President Akufo-Addo was a wicked man, which does not conclude or add up to the example that he was making. So let it be known that karma exists. And then as Don has said it today, I pray that it does not happen. But then should it happen, Don should just take it with a solemn heart and then agree that it is karma. Thank you.
All right, let me move on. So then we're even listening to the conversation so far. Is our democracy under attack? Is our party respecting the institution when their members have picked left, right, center?
Oh. It's interesting listening to Don and Nathan. Nathan, when he entered, he appeared calm, but Charlie, yeah, on your calms are very interesting conversation.
It's funny, don't say Wabomija. Of course, it's supposed to be a calm conversation, but you know, when fire meets fire, I mean, iron sharpens iron, and then if I got it correct, though.
I'm enjoying the conversation.
Hold on, you answer me. Iron sharpens iron,
except for
I'm sharpening Don, so it's normal.
Except for the very extreme political stance that both of them are trying to make. And let me say this: I'm not trying to. Every death is painful. Every death is painful, right? Some members or some of the 38 people who died from the flood, I believe some were breadwinners, some had potential bright future, people's boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, children. Every death is painful. But I want us to situate things in their proper context. Friday, I sat here and I said that I was very disappointed in the NPP for deciding to embark on that demonstration on August 6th. Because we all know what August 6th have come to mean in this country, at least since last year. The people, the 8 gallant men, died when they were on a national assignment. That should not be taken out of the conversation. They were not on their private pursuit. I don't think anybody would have held a 1-year remembrance service for them even if they were still serving in office, but on their personal agenda and met those accidents. But for the fact that that is the difference. Let's not mistake that. Let's not take that out of the conversation. They were on a national assignment. The state had sent them to prosecute an agenda. The 38 were not sent by the state. They were Ghanaians, yes, but it would just be like a number of people die on a road accident. The next day there is a state function and we say that let's cancel that state function because we had a number of people dying from road traffic accidents. And I always believe that road traffic accident is the least, death taken serious in this country. But every day people die from road accidents. And I don't think we suspend any gathering or any meeting because some people die from road accidents. But the difference is this: the people died, the 8 men fell when they were on a national assignment. That should be established. That is the difference. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had this conversation, right? We wouldn't even be talking about holding a remembrance service for them. And they were sent by the state, not a political party. Once you were holding an office, you were sent by the state NADMO Deputy Director, Minister for Environment, Minister for Defense, people working in the presidency, people serving in the Ghana Armed Forces, they were all working for the state and died en route to serving the country. That is the difference. So for that reason, for that purpose, that day shouldn't be a day that a political party would decide that we are demonstrating. If they were even demonstrating to say that, oh, Galamsey is persisting, I would have said yes, it was a right course for a day like that. But to demonstrate on that day that democracy is under attack, something that has nothing to do with the fallen heroes, was a bad decision. And of course, some of them have come out to say that they had forgotten that 6th August was for that event. So at least they know that. But to justify that because the National Thanksgiving held,
my co-host,
the National Thanksgiving held, even though 38 people died from flooding, and so it justified holding a demonstration for democracy being under attack on a day when we should be mourning. I think it's far-fetched. You can't equalize. These are two different things.
These are two different things. You wanted to say something.
Yes. Oh, not a banter. I had a simple question.
Okay.
It was simple. It's not just simple. It was also innocent.
You want to ask him?
Yes, please. I want him to be categorical with regards to who and who have come out claiming that they didn't know that the 6th of August was a day for the memorial of the 8 men that died. That is what I want him to.
Yes, I'll get you the name, but
no,
I know.
But then you said
I know an MPP person, yes, who came out to say
no,
that if
so,
he had known.
Let it be on the record
if he had
that
known,
until he is able to prove,
I will get.
He's able to substantiate.
But that's not even consequential.
No.
You spell AI.
No.
Tell you that.
No. You see, Don is so outdated to the extent that he doesn't know. Don is so outdated to the extent that Don doesn't appreciate the use of AI. I am not reading anything from AI. Okay, Don. It's okay. It's okay. Don. It's okay. No, Don. You can have it here.
You're eating into my time.
Oh, no. It was a simple and innocent question. Until your co-host is able to substantiate the fact that this and this, so said that they didn't know that the 6th of August was a memorial for the 8 men.
Okay.
This shouldn't be a conversation that should hold.
What? Wait.
No, you use my data.
Why is your focus on the people who have said that?
My focus is there because it is a fundamental point to the point that you are making.
It is not a fundamental point.
So then you would have to retract it.
When I'm done, I'll get you the.
Oh no, then retract it now. When you have it, then you have the conversation.
Interjecting.
No, not interjecting. I asked a simple and innocent question that every Ghanaian listening.
Wait, I don't want to lose my thoughts. I don't want to lose my thoughts. We are still on the show. Before I leave here, I'll give you the name. At least I know one person who has come out to say that if he had known 6th of August was for the memorial, he wouldn't have joined the demonstration.
Okay.
I'll get you the name. But that is not even consequential. Will you let me finish? Let me finish.
After the show, you substantiate it.
Even before we leave the show, that is not even a substance to. It is a name I'm giving. What I'm saying, it is not fundamental. I am saying that you cannot equalize the two. To say that because National Day of Thanksgiving was held after June 29 flood, where 38 people died, and so it justifies why a political party should decide to hold a demonstration. Wait, let me finish. Your justification was that 38 people died, and the next day, the next 2 days, there was a National Day of Thanksgiving. That is it. And I'm telling you that we have to have a distinction between the two. The 8 men died on a national assignment. We should understand that. Otherwise, we'll sit here and say, when there is an accident, the next day when there's a state function, we cancel the state function because there was an accident. You can't make that argument. Okay. Let's respect they died on a national assignment. They were not
is against
so you can't equalize. You can't equalize. Don't try to do that equalization.
Nobody's trying to equalize it.
All right, so let me come to democracy under attack. I have said over and over again that for me, I am an advocate for democracy. I am all for democracy. And I get worried by some of the attacks, some of the arrests we have seen over the years, not just under this particular government, but successive governments. Especially for John Mahama too, I am a little bit disappointed because, look, I personally vouched for the tolerance of John Dramani Mahama, because I saw what happened under Mahama 1. When everybody, even a child in this country could call John Mahama names and nothing was done to them. Perhaps what we are seeing now is a response to what happened under the 8 years of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Because I remember when journalists were picked up from studios where party people would interrupt shows on UTV because the guests have said something they didn't like. Where Captain Smart and Co, Caleb Kuda and Co, Zoe Abubedu and Co were given a little slap by national security operatives for taking pictures at unauthorized places and what have you. We saw some of these things. So perhaps that is why we say when you are doing some things, you may be setting a bad precedence, because under John Mahama 1, I didn't see some of the things we are seeing. But we know Bongo Ideas or Ideas or whatever his name is.
Bongo Ideas.
Bongo Ideas. Some of the things that that guy was picked up. There are a lot of people in this country who were picked up for speaking out. Look, demonstrators, like Don was saying, couldn't come beyond a certain point. They will meet demonstrators at a certain point to take petitions from them. You know, was Oliver Bakavomawo and Co. The things that they went through for speaking out, for demonstrating. So, I mean, I am surprised that people who sat down didn't see anything wrong with some of those arrests. All of a sudden today, see everything wrong with the democracy. They claim that the democracy we have right now is under attack because of some of these arrests. It is not today that democracy has come under this kind of attack, so-called. If there should be a time where we can say that this thing started and ate deep into our politics, it should be when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was in power. In fact, I personally said, look, Manasa Azure and Co, they left this country, they flee. People needed security to speak out their minds. And guess what? That was under the era of a lawyer, a human rights lawyer, somebody who led demonstration, the biggest demonstration, at least for some time, Kumi Prekum. Under his tenure, I personally said something that, especially during 2022, that time, that a common DNC, Kawanutu, you couldn't speak. The economy was hard, yet when you speak, people will come after you. So if the party saw everything wrong with that and spoke out, Nana B and Co, I saw Samia Uku there, I saw the minority leader there. If those people, say Chairman Sabonsu, if they had spoken against those arrests, then they would have had a moral right to demonstrate. But the same people who saw nothing wrong with the arrest of Bongo Ideas, who saw nothing wrong with the wrong detention of Captain Smart, the detention of Oliver Bakavomawo and Co, who were speaking on the wrongs, the ills of the government at the time, all of a sudden see something wrong because yes. It doesn't make it right. That is why I'm saying that I am not justifying.
If the past was wrong.
That is why I started by saying that I get worried by some of the arrests we are seeing now. One of the reasons I always say I will choose democracy any day is because I can sit here and talk. If it was under another system of government, perhaps I would even be afraid to come out of my room or to leave to walk on the street after this show. But I can speak and still go out, and I am protected. I am free. I am safe. That is the value of our democracy. So I don't understand why people who speak out will be picked up by law enforcement agencies for speaking their minds. Having said that, let's also acknowledge that free speech has a limit. Look, free speech has a limit. Let me give a typical example. Perhaps it may not be appropriate for the context of this conversation. Not too long ago, a certain person made a religious comment. What happened to the person? Are we not under democracy? Hell, are we not under democracy? But collectively, unanimously, all religious people, both Muslims and Christians, said that gentleman should be picked up. Ask yourself, why did we say the gentleman should be picked up? Are we not under democracy? It should inform you that even under democracies, your free speech should have a limit. You don't speak foolishly under the guise of democracy, inciting the public, and expect that because we are in a democracy, you should be allowed. Look, we should be learning from the region in which we are. We know some of the things that happened that incited violence in some of the countries in the same African region in which we are. So the fact that we are in a democracy, we have free speech, doesn't mean that go and say things. We have laws. You can't publish anything. False publication. Once you make false publication, yes, we are in a democracy, but the law will deal with you. Let's respect that. But of course, I will always say that once you are a leader, you must have the balls to tolerate some of the things that will be said against you.
All right.
Not anybody will like you. That is why we are in a democracy. No. So for me, government agencies focus on governing, if possible, allow people, so long as it will not cause anything to the public peace, allow people to say what they say. But for the NPP, I hope and really hope that Afenyo Martin and Co, the same people who were on the street on 6th August, on that day 6th August, demonstrating. So tomorrow, and I know government will go, parties will come, whether we like it or not, the NPP will surely come. And I know some of those people will be alive to see an NPP government. When some of these things are going on, they shouldn't shut up. Else, it would have justified my claim that it was just hypocritical demonstration.
All right, hypocritical. Salam Mustafa, the MPP National Youth Organizer, he defended the party's decision to hold democracy under attack. Demonstration on August 6, 2026, despite its coinciding with the National Memorial Service for the 8 people who died in August 6, 2025 helicopter crash. He said the party was not aware of the government memorial program when it selected the date, explaining that the date has been based on the MPP internal activities calendar.
You have your answer?
The source is City News.
You have your answer?
The source is City News.
In fact, I will have
City News. Go, check. You don't even know that Salam Mustafa is your youth organizer.
No.
So check.
No.
Check.
I would consider that statement as an insult for you to tell me that I don't know that.
If you know, you would have known that he made this statement.
No. The question.
Are you saying you are aware of this?
No.
Are you aware of this statement?
Don't.
Are you aware of this news item?
You are providing clouded and misconceived position.
Oh, you don't know that we are here to educate and learn.
No.
So it is not at all
the fact that we are here to educate and learn.
Yes.
And for you to claim that I don't know that Salam Mustafa is the New Patriotic Party youth organizer, it's an insult to me.
Okay, so if you know, how come you didn't know that he has made this statement?
No, you have to retract that statement.
Okay, I retract that. I said he doesn't know Salam Mustafa is the youth organizer, but he doesn't know the story. That one, you don't know the story.
No, don't put things that I haven't said.
No, you don't need to say this. No. You are not aware of this statement. We are here to educate and learn.
Don't.
Did you know this? Did you know this?
There is a context to which we are following.
I said, did you know this?
No, that shouldn't be.
The answer is yes or no.
No.
Did you know
it? Take which answer I gave.
Viewers, you can see how dishonest the gentleman is becoming.
Oh no.
He
That's
doesn't want
not that answer that I won't tolerate. You can have your opinions, but then to call me dishonest.
Did you know this?
No, that is not the context with the conversation occurred. He made a statement, and then who alleges must first prove. Don't write the one.
And it has been proved.
Now,
and I'm asking you that, are you aware of this?
Battle and fighting the person's battle for the person.
I'm not fighting anybody's battle. That's why I told you to save yourself this embarrassment. Use Meta AI.
Don't respect for the thing yourself, and then you find it. You were silent for the entire time until someone said you searched for it. I saw you really searching for it.
So look at the story.
Look at what?
No, look at you said I searched for it and I couldn't find it. So I said look at the story because I was reading it.
Okay.
That's why I told you that City News. That's the source. It is there already. Because I didn't know he was coming to read it. I was waiting for him to finish. Then I will tell you that, Charlie, this is it next time. On a quiet note. Now, everyone has heard us. Please, let's go.
0537158638 is the numbers. You can also join us. We're having a conversation. The audit, which covers operation at the embassy from 2017 to 2025, revealed disturbing details of financial. Hello, good morning, Mr. Morris.
Ghana, Yapoke, Papa, Mr. Morris, me, Massa, last week, Nami Popo, now, who do a good young, Massa Rebel, who is getting an animal convoy, if Mr. Convoy. And so, you can say, and now say, any political and almost stop convoy. And when we try, then I come out him with that home. I will never miss that home. Massa, so hard to that for you. A dear and this pussy cougar and say, I will who some of a woman as yesterday. Minister, how come told the police do it? And now said and say, no, type 90s before this ministers for a couple. Emma, Vanguard. What we can say, will be a winning more, Baba past minister about the food. Minister China, minister post that side for. And I don't want to Mama, oh, yeah, because when you have your class, oh, and in the manifest room said, Ghana for Papa no bar, Galam says, Obama Pamu. When they hear dance your favorite, because of I, Galam says, now I am a rebel, and this meeting a final one was it. Happy before I say, then yes, happy before you man so anything Ghana for Pamo, and Mamma, Namoba, Diana Boy. Oh, dear boy, I am West. Oh, my pain, my catch today and said, Yet, if we are to go home, am I? We said this in your was a go no master. Oh, my pain, my catch today and said, what would you go from Bomodina Coco? Never yet, about who are better. Stand this in what said, and some of my pain, Mamma, what is so? Oh, my pain, Mamma, catch today and said, a good coupon. Or bad. Next thing, be a 24-hour economy. Mr. Say, why what you are? I said, market no within the 7 price. Kumasi market, your phone say. Kumasi market, your phone say. And market, your phone family. Oh, then the study look, get and share, and what then is what about where? The minister, what my point is that over here, Arabetru. Once you try, yeah, for your talk for start. I mean, what the check. The minister, offer for the Italia, police start. Mama, what's your name? Yes, so what not yet was Sunny, maybe, or rather than near my West. Oh, Mama, but 6 months president, Papa 4 years president, was up 4 years.
Mr. Morris. Yeah, that's Mr. Morris Anope. Mr. Morris is consistently, he's been the first caller. Consistently. 0537158638 is the numbers also to me Afrain.
Hello.
Good morning.
Fine morning.
Akwitiafo ho to say.
Obia ho ye.
Ebi etie o yanko.
Akwitiafo chia mo pa mommo ni aduma.
Yeji won so.
Emi chia wa bredafo ho ndisi ni mechia ne pa yie. Emi chia masa sedu wo achi ase. Ma me kom asem so. Ai ebogbo wuram ni akasa o. Ye de no kure no ene ye ka. NDC for ye ntwantro ni ayese no ene ye yo. Na ye wa banboni e betena akonwa so mfe nwotwe. Omo ntumi anya hwe omo de Ghana sika kɔbɔ amana ne ɔsɔfo ota beba bɛka saa asɛm yi ɔba bɛsa apagya Ghana fo koma ɛde aba mo abro na bi no mo kɔ IMF MPP fo mo kɔ gi sika he sika besi ahe na mo kɔbɔ IMF na sika ahe na mo de bɔ amana no ebi no na so ne wɔ hospitals ye wɔ nneɔma ɛsɛ ye ye friend say hospital kɔ a wɔn asiama koma se fo mo to aba ma NDC 3 what me be about Kokrano? Agenda 111, Miss Equasi say MPP aburo ene ntro na ahye wo mumu ma mo twa ntro dia ko opposition mo betina ho no na mo party ni mo sese mo say ka ese twa ntro se bawo na bawo mi na be den po alugu dam sika o tua ye no o di ko tu dam no yati ha wo di yi levy begu Ghana force ekwo bo besia ye nchendi endeke no foriata me say yi efe ne sen pensioner fo sika mutumi ji o musika mo mu wu anya MPP ani wu o ma peni John Dramani mama ba na nyoma nyina akofam first na mo bag ne yeto ne sen oyo na yeto ne sen ku fo gala oyo na yeto ne sen a mutu petrol mu dollar koso bibia ko ya kan na mo sade a kire yen ebe sey o ma na wuntumi ni nam nwuram mo chese galam se nu kwa de mo achafa mo nkofo kwa be yi mo ma peni dada eye na na do be defend him enye mo ani wu MPP enda membu papa ba o ma peni John Dramani mama Ghana sika onye ye nchendi o ne enyoma oye sugar factory mu hu ye okwa ade so factory si ho hospitals so sisi ye Koko road mu na mo ba ya mo betwa mu ye nchendi aban MPP ntro aban mo pega na yie mo ko ye book kura sai ka mo beton Ghana ende to eye eduma mo peso sai ka mo beton to ende to eye eduma so glemen ka mo beton aburo ni beye Ghana fo me so mo wuro mo anim nkosoro o mo wo ba fem o mo nim de pai wo NDC mo MPP never again mo be twa mo nya kompo enso mo boa never ye pe obi abedi enso abawomia me say lanchamanti mo yi na every party ni mo no oh mo be bre mo MPP oh mo nyamba power mo be opposition no
AB Echo also betumi aba 053715 minima bidja for na aje akonya eye na no pay me co-host Bernard Agwemo Eduji ewa ha Don Winers Donwa and hello Seidu
hello champion moderator
yes Seidu
Abutere Wura Seidu ni ayo lady AB wa pase ama ajanse asoja fo no eguso ehe MBA Michia o producers no engineers no technicians ebi Michia o ni akotiafo ni nyina ane bibi moro me come asem so wa bejafo Michia o ama start efre ukos enreze asem se first president mama no we want to see we sa obi ayi allegation bia that one ebiano ako take action ama yeso wakoti edan wo Dubai ni adeade wa president ayi your friends na na go fa do mo ba mo use no captain smart mo ka say o mo ko je bi ya nani na ye twa so ana meboa that time na o ka say wo mra metire mu a that time no kana boye den egidio yesi play wakoto play na wadi sikano ye korose ayi officer wa ne ho kro no ba MPP ba ya wo bu yusu ya wo mankaza ayi oskuta for what be ni so na ya dia say ni panu data eti so ye ya wa take crew awo baby say wo be chan tro de maka kanu kure na yamba ayi na ayi kura no wo ko host bi na mi fuse bi do bu say yo MPP youth yi youth say prebe Johnny NDC na master youth ministers why ayi o dabi ayi wa kwaji wo fusu mu nyina master MPP there obedila o makwa ko fa bi na mu afenifo master eso na ma na mu be computer na ma o na master no wo kasa disaster ni see no ensuo na see ayi no o dey 38 na we no crazy ni 38 na we Mr. Moderator. Okay, me come
Awesome.
Now, President Mama to blame and share the beer. Me grow for ma or more rescue among for one so. Hey, not a good day. President Mama share the beer and soon a year. You must have time giving and soon to you know. What the focus for some men or more? What the focus for some men on the car? What was it and see a background with this week now more? Asaye hukura tende estino ni na ye mu hwehwe yi wodi so the better to waswa wada for me na me ka dia asofo no poka bi we mu de wada for ka ya ko na ma mu ne dia mu de ahwe ma si so mu de hu ni ye mu hwehwe yi Masa omuko Thanksgiving so no ba no. Masa ye hu nsuo kura stodium meboa MPP ayina wo representing enne no. On kasa meboa. Nsuo na huhu na so Christian Yankopon se ade nyina mu na ye pass da ma na ye aye na na kuko adwe. Masa ibe fanta aya sa wo bi na wono wo jinga na for wo say president mama. Aya wo so wan kasa ye ko ye ba elect o. Masa no wa suma nkro for di kaka mu to bia abebu bo man ko tuo sam to di mu na ne afọ mu se o ma sum ye ti probe na te de ba so ye ti we mu two o ma so ye mu dia when mu ya na we use white paper e ti cover so masa wo fa se wo na wo ju ye president former president abemo wo dia wo kai ne nti masa me kai ba za masa ya fo ni pa 8 abatu o keko president one committee pose busiafo say even the deputy the MP ba the deputy speaker we was Robert ni S2 what the mumuje amafo mu president mama ye busa say president ayi na na Akufo-Addo even kura victims that omu still ayi what still no ekoko ayi voter region no inna parliamentary bi ko resist o sadia budget no mu fanche mu na mu fa bibi enko ho mu we ayi bamia deputy ayi we your friends ayi ba tema we yi no na po what the dead body say ye bi before kuma voter for that's president mama is that here a see what you can know we what an intem no what chat no ma say sika ya fa ma omu victims in intem na on pe we with the work of compare that nanado amambu a wo kasa kura ya tu be yaku we ugo was ne wadi kaka ayi journalist for ntimin ko hokura unya kasa pa ayi gogo ani dawo amuna mu ya da gogo ani dawo aja NDC o wa mu chi ni tu mu sa sam na president kura wo baby se wa kwa kasa yo eti listen eti boy you refer na zare ya wodi o mu ko ya prison o gogo ani dawo president ma be free approach be ya na yi ama o kan ya no mu yi na gogo ani dawo ba ya wa tu se o wa kwa da na PB ni so mu ya ni zare o
Say to your Dasi 0537158638 is the numbers. My big phone, me pick your thoughts 1212. Nah, yeah, sorry, Jimmy no so. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Producer, and I'm morning.
If I share for say.
I didn't know a Roman father.
Oh, Roman father.
Open casting. My mom was TV, but I think today.
Amen.
And the more panel norms to do about so the matter. But before the casting, nothing comes at and from a Santa that these people were able to power your water. Any immigration with Papa or your mammy. Now, you are Alaza Apollo, but you will be an apple with Napoka, and Napoka, Rita, and Obama, what any is Papa. You cannot function. Because what capacity? You go and say, the bar. But let another work happen. When you want money, you may come from you do another is registered. Cannot economic. You won't go to that. You have a word to be now. Cafe. Not any before you do more. A certain register, you do my another walk, another human. And now, if you have a cat about one, you want to read the amazing thing what. By a citizen, right? I hear that and the Bakumato, pay of one day lamp. This is, you know, and a market. And another, I don't know yet different one, just Bruce. What is a court? And what is and what you find? At not that my year at the man, and not at the man's bank, I do know man swap. Galaxy, what am I yet? Up to date, me, and it's not just your room at the best what I can of my hands and do a beginning. Me, I can't never for a fan of that, and this is war. What then this is the video? What would the forest warning on my number? How much am I? Let me say, make a fool because they're full of the bomb. How much am I? Well, what get I'll be power. So, if Mama you can know maybe you can know maybe because the number fire your face a crown power in factory. The crew warning, you're warning your poor FDR. You will know, it's a delay one. But yes, I want to announce one year. A man who wants to try and get about radio Babu and get done in the land. But the performer who put out the man who was your money. He did a dress of already done it. Trouble. And not a present Mama by yet, see a cut the lap. What lap for? What creating a 7 not the 431 million. F1 that to go to the million. What is 5 million the car? And what's it? About 25 million. If you want a pass, you don't mind an ready for friends, even know. Before when you know, the go in the if I went there to Galano, which I was there, and you there for 2 years, 3 years ago. Not to go to drop the other way. I think in a Coco, I think you come into the 31. Then 3 years back in the crowd, he said, over to back of what I want. Now, but there's over 25 million. Nothing to any for a timber, maybe no more for the mistake. What for demonstration and no one will be. And then I'm going to fire a ball. Oh, it can never be a boy and 1 year and no one ever would give me. If you can't get a follow with the one far. Ghana for the idea to what would be that. But that's what they do. That's what we be cutting here. I didn't see the video for that. They came out for that to cut it. Your mama and Tawu with that. If we want to be able to Ghana help you. Yes, so your mama and the mama were about to get if you Ghana, the bill, yeah, the other for over ya, Ghana for Mama, why not Ghana for over Papa? If you have to focus on the Yama for you, and Yama and Quay.
All right. Roman
now this is casual the Paco for 24 hours magical. One completely hospital. Now one put it at ready morning every one. One year cannot read the camera system. That on Bible to be before the one fire. I don't know about woman entity for what you are. I just Roman for the Mesa without what we got for. Match my work. 2029. Apart from what I have to go to 2029, after 2029, to go with America, would you my father? After your market, that you will be a Yakuba to the son of my other Kizuba, what is this? My power to your
Yamin Council 0537158638. And numbers are also between me to a ginger afa on my trophy was screen also friends and Nadia said, Nay callers no mudium money. Or friend or lower or a TV set. You didn't come off for further. Now don't ask also what's going on with you.
Oh, nothing. You know.
Osha Katie, I'm on a statement.
Yes.
I see to me Bobby Aqued. Tyro seeing to me Bobby Aqued.
The captain of the drill ship.
I say to me Bobby Aqued. Whether chop or no chop. You go for do anybody foco. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Miriam. I showed you the video free.
Oh, what problem before? It's better.
Second day. Escado. Hotter than that.
Oh, I hope
for fraud than that.
From
Echo me and so on. Kayanko.
But I was here a good Robert. We may and tell that something better. You and fire. Nowhere now. What's the question now? Oh, yeah, no, I'm not and if you're back now, young boy, you see one story. And if you got the boom, you don't want to be. And one gun and I'm going to no, I didn't come on because I know what you don't know what you've been on the do. In this man,
abɔfo wɔn nti nkuma ka di nipa ne sɛ wɔte taa nipa mu sɛ wɔate de ase ne so wɔyɛ wɔn magana bi wɔn nka ne dɛ nti ɛso de pa ne nti wɔn magana wɔn nka ne dɛ adudu bi wɔn bɛgya ne bi ase for wɔyɛ akoto bi na wɔyɛ fi gya ne wɔyɛ akoto bi na wɔyɛ fi for na wɔyɛ ne ni bi a ti bi fi wɔn pɛ pɔtɔ wɔn ni dem de mo so yɛ ni ata adi wa yɛ ɔda ɔtɔ de ni ka sa attack na ndɛ ne ti da so ko parliament NPP so for parliament ani ko oyi ku ani ko na kyerɛ no the attack on the democracy what wa na tete nti ni ka o je ni bu wo e ki to ano democracy manasi abi journalist nka o ku just attack democracy on that as when o de ni ni o de ba ni o de ba ni o ku dan o no an le di na ma le ku se I started telling people one what the ba na o ye people o important you buy what ba for video get a fantasy I know do but this young or some of the there you know you different not that very I think what do you go maybe one
a call from the Western region also joining us 053-158-638. Make me have a calls by 1 2 be hello good morning
Opa
to say
Pastor Nyamiadumo na moswe
Nyamiadom
Federada Philomena Pankrono
Antifilo
Opa
Yenti
Yedi politics mo here Yina yedi ye politicians Opa Nemum de yedi eni huno ena ema ye politicians nkakaka yesimiwe mkakaka ni kebi Opa ye yakasa papa mahama ena oka se galamsey no we don't know say both politicians no and they to by your kind say for me it sounds so your president don't care about evidence no none of the best are because ye confirm the dia ye and I mean the president so ABM must me actually can say Monko no mutuno I'm just there no a new tantino and no a senior for baby let's don't kai no beer and a kai say yenny and popoli two nae cabana da now so nyamisia offer could do 1 year no could you in fact offer Mahama ma a whole baby pacumo serious. Don't say we are in a doctor Manebuamu or Brahma. Eku ya Doctor Manebuamana, me didn't baba. Stop any 4 years who you certain patrol Yamato. I think one chronic cat Mahama say. I said that I'm saying, to me, Mama, no, it is that way I'm going Nancy Bia ni Pasco Bia Mako, Felipe Bia one Kumamo, Nioma a customer. You pay Mama time 2020 or back 2015. Ye Ebola buy, you who near Koye. Nana the time 20 COVID-19, and also you who near Koye. That COVID-19 any Ebola time yet they are comparing with penny adwin pa mayin ta mayin blame ni pa ni ko blame ko swapa e de man penny ye duma na so ba so ye na mama nko abaye to ya tumu eni o ko mo na no public nkwala youth ba later mo be ka pe bi nko wuye Later, more than happy say, all I want to know for me, you always tidy. Offer the tea I work at them way to collect now, what want to know from way tidy. Omo area mo, omo kwa sorry o, baby omo nem bi ete. Obi a baby obi e bi a oni se nipa we no ko police adwuma aya ampa no no. Se na enkwala no, ye be filia form. Obi a be ka form anya ya re filia form no. Enti se wo ni bibi ma wa tie. Ye down boni krono fa. Enyo me kokko mai we mu no. Ayana the who you be a divu yaw na mama do time me nyoma mu ye kakra na so me na enye bebre no koka almost to free education is go ebua na so me na ye kom no I will complain na ye mam eno mo before any ye de ko tia MPP na so ka MPP de na ka omu de no mu ni boni dia it's gonna for ye tamato but big deal biawo abu fudie so bia kuma mo fan pro na mo yem fu aba no o mo pani before time o say se wasitna na chu abapa but the kunyema wa continue to vote for NDP se wasitna mo so nyema wa kona kotuma NDP te brene tuma na yina ye be wudie o ma we kaka enye na so no ye be for sama na ye e wo ye tutu amen o ka nyame samu me tamase
amen nyame so enhira won so antifilo. Well, let me come to my let me start with I started with Dawn, right? So let me pick your closing comment, final thoughts in 2 minutes. In a minute.
In a minute.
Yeah.
So, listening to your audience, I mean, after the call to the show, you realize that one thing has been made clear. That is when you ignore the signs, you see the wonders. And then Ghanaians at the 2024 polls decided to ignore the signs, and then currently they are seeing the wonders. The wonders with the Ghanaian youth listened to the manifesto of the NDC and then decided to give the mandate to the NDC. That was in 2024 when they promised them the 24-hour economy. Today, the economy has been transformed into a 10-hour market. That is what they are saying. Today, as it stands now, the Agbogloshi market is being deconstructed in order to make space for the 24-hour economy. In which logical thinking country would you destroy an established market to build a 24-hour economy? Are there no lands in Accra for the 24-hour economy to be built in? When teacher trainees and nurses were promised various placements and then they were disappointed, only 7,000 out of I think 40,000, 90,000 people were given this opportunity of placement. And then the sad part about the issue is that they had to pay 25 cedis. That is daylight robbery when the government absconds with 25 cedis from every well-meaning Ghanaian that wishes to serve their country. And then this, because of time, I would want to end here. But then before I leave, I would want to send a dedicated message to the Ahafo Youth Wing of the NPP. This Saturday is the NPP elections, regional elections. And then when it comes to the position of youth organizer, there is one man that over the season of time has proven to be competent enough to lead the youth wing of the Afro region, and that is no other person than Frederick Nikomi. Nikomi is an astute law student that will be completing his legal education this year, and then he happens to be contesting for the position of our regional youth organizer. He is number 4 on the ballot screen, and then he promises to mobilize the youth base for His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in 2028 for victory. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. That's the point of Nathan Nuno, who speaks for the opposition New Patriotic Party, the Mighty 87. And
oh, he didn't say the micro. He said,
I said Mighty 87.
Everything is unfair for him.
Oh, don't be like that.
Since he sat on this seat, everything is unfair.
Don't be like that.
So I'm not surprised he actually said that.
No. Let me hear it properly. Don't use this. Don't use this as a guide for any
let me give my closing remark.
Mischievous propaganda.
Let me give my closing remark.
This morning, Dawn has been nothing but mischievous.
Why?
Oh, you let him proceed after it. I'll tell you.
Do you think it's fair
that
I've been nothing but just mischievous.
Oh, of course, you've been
As you
mischievous.
say,
You
right.
know it in your heart.
So
You've been mischievous this morning. The
I'm
whole
glad-
time you've been mischievous. Don't.
I'm glad you mentioned the 24-hour markets. You know, and he said something that is striking. He said, who in his right frame of mind will demolish an old market and put up a 24-hour market?
Not an old market, an existing market.
An existing
One
market.
that is functioning.
An existing market.
That is generating revenue for the economy.
When did you enter Agbegloshi? Have you entered there when it's raining?
Yes.
How do you see it?
Oh, I mean,
Is that the future we want?
of course, it's not the best.
Right. Once it's not the future we want, it is important we upgrade it. To
But
give
upgrading is
a
different from
befitting,
construction.
a
I don't know
befitting,
how to get clear.
my brother. Let's give Agbegloshi a befitting market.
No,
like
no.
a Kotokoba market. Have you entered a Kotokoba market before?
Kotokraba market.
Yes.
Yes, I've been there.
You've been there.
Yes, I've been
Is
there.
it the same as it used to be?
I
Was it an existing market before it was transformed?
When it comes to the issues of the Kotokraba market,
Yes.
I don't know of its past, but then I know of its present.
You know of its present. Do you like that?
Oh, I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Good. So the Agbegloshi people deserve.
No. But there is a difference between rehabilitation of a market and destroying an existing market. That is generating revenue
you
for the
see,
economy.
you see, the NPP said reviewing the free SHS policy means cancellation.
No, those are two distinct.
So me, I'm not surprised today you are making reference to rehabilitation as destroying.
No. That is not part of
You
it.
said they are destroying
We have
an
to take
existing
the
market.
conversation from its context.
You said they are destroying an existing market.
You see
Is
why I
that
said
correct?
that is being mysterious.
No, but you said they are destroying an existing market.
No,
Are they
that is.
destroying it?
Oh, don't.
Or you've changed your mind?
I'm not changing my
Yes.
mind. The message
He
is
has
not
changed his
being
mind.
No.
So now that
you are being mischievous, don't. You are being
now that he has
you see,
agreed
you promised the
that
24-hour
the Agbegloshi market
and then currently you are giving us
must
the 24-hour
have a
market. And then with the
befitting
24-hour
market.
market, you've given us a 10-hour market.
Agbegloshi people deserve better.
Oh, that's not the conversation.
So that when I come to Agbegloshi 2 a.m. to shop for Wele, Momoni and Kako, I can get it. I won't be walking in the map when it's raining. So President Mohammed's 24-hour model is built on 3 core pillars that will drive the 24-hour economy. Yesterday I was on another sister station. Then the MPP communicator said, the vice president said 8, and I said 3 core that drives it. He said, you mentioned there is growth 24, but the 3 core is fund 24, transport 24, and build 24. Now, growth 24 is part, but before you grow, what do you need? You need funds. That's why the fund 24 is there. When you finish growing, where do you sell it? You need the markets. That is why the 24-hour build 24 is there. When you move it from the farm to the market, who is going to move it? It's not a donkey. It's transport. That is why transport 24 is there. So that is how it's interlinked. So it's 3 core that will drive it. So my brother.
So is it an economy or a market?
So no, you see,
No,
it's a model.
No.
It's a model.
Simple question.
It's a
is it
model.
an economy or it's a market?
24-hour economy is a model. 24-hour economy is a model.
No. So is
Do you know
it
what a
a
model
market
is?
or an economy?
Do you know what a model is?
No. I asked the question.
Do you know? So I'm telling you, I'm giving you an answer.
The same way.
It is a model.
If there's a yes or no question.
my 1 minute.
If there's a yes or no question.
Unless you're telling me you don't know what a model
If
is.
there's a yes
Fine.
or no
Okay,
If you
so
don't know what a model
no,
is,
no, no,
I can teach you what a model is.
Okay, just
free of
yes
charge.
or
Okay.
no question.
Okay, just
Is this a 24-hour market or a 24-hour economy?
It's a
yes
model.
or no?
24-hour economy is a model.
This is MCQ. A or B, yes or no. Don't tell me it's a
When your question
When
is
you say-
wrong.
No.
When
no,
your question is fundamentally wrong.
No. How
You
do
don't
you
need
tell
four.
and the question is fundamentally wrong? Because the basic components of
24-hour
this is we were
economy.
promised a 24-hour economy, and yet we are receiving a 24-hour market, and then to fact, it is actually being transformed into a 10-hour market.
Oh.
Because today the what?
Revise your notes.
No, revise your notes.
all right. Thank you so much, Don, and Nathan.
You still not answer the question, yes or no?
Revise your
Is it a market
Nathan.
or an economy?
It's a model.
All right, Don and Nathan. Let me go to my co-host Bernard.
Yeah.
Bernard, just before you come in, let me read some few messages that have come in this morning. Let me start from Kwabenya. Kwabenya. I have Eben from Kwabenya. And Eben says, a very good morning. I am Eben from Kwabenya. Let me commend the Vice President, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, for letting the MMDCs know what they would be promoted or demoted of. Some are doing well, some too are not at all. And I think they have to go, period. As for Eben, he has his way of doing things. And he says, greetings to Honorable Julius Deborah, Peter Kwesimen from Shipyard, and also MC Agbo. And this for Capito. Capito says, it is still possible for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the MPP come 2028. That is coming from Capito. And then the NDC has failed and disappointed Ghanaians. And this sends regards to Richard Abuaje, incoming National Vice Chair, hopeful for the MPP, and Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsin. This is a very long one, right? Wow. So which one? How do I start this? It said, it's MBN TV, not men. MBN TV, and all what you are discussing, the NDC is doing very, very well than the NPP, who didn't care for Ghana and Ghanaians. The MPP guys said Ghana first, but during MPP era, it was MPP and its leaders first. I'm not NPP nor NDC, but NDC is far better than NPP. I don't want to write much, but the NDC guy is right. We all saw the bad things the MPP did to President Mahama, Ghana, and Ghanaians. This MPP guy is very, very biased. The name is MBN TV. In Ghana, most tribes has 1 year celebration for their dead. So why would MPP call for a demo to cancel that event when the dead were on the national duty? MPP is inhumane in this part. Hey, he touched on so many things, right? It's a freedom of speech has a limit. Freedom of speech doesn't include threatening president life and other lives. Freedom of speech doesn't include insulting president and others. So if because of freedom of speech, then you threaten others' life, you are liable to arrest. Okay. There's some look at some freedom of speech can cause war in countries. I understand that, my brothers, the NDC is far, far better than NPP. Okay. This one says hi. I say hello to you, Dollar King. This one says, good morning, Uncle Sam. Your guests and all viewers, did anyone die if MPP demonstrate because they think democracy is attacked? We didn't hear anyone killed. But under human rights lawyer Nana Bawumia, 8 people died during 2020 election. Sitting member of parliament was slapped during a Yawaso West war gun. Kaka from Ejura was killed when he is criticizing his own president. Ahmed Swale killed after he is doing his work as a journalist. Manes Azuri ran for his life under human rights lawyer who is president then, and more. If I and you didn't call this democracy under attack, and we go ahead and spend 3 million Ghana cedis to organize demonstration, whilst we see members of the demonstrators are fighting because of money, means NPP are not ashamed of themselves. From Idi Tabora, NDC demolished most of the market and upgraded it. Asawasi Market, Kutukraba Market, KJT Market, and more. Idi Tabora sends this one in. So those are messages from my viewers. I hope no attack is coming. 1 minute.
Oh, no, I won't do any attack.
No, not you.
Okay.
No, they know what I mean.
It was a statement you made in passing, and I choose to make that my criticism. My own 1 minute to give everything. Was about Dr. Mensa Otabil's statement on the National Cathedral, which he made in passing.
Yeah.
Before I will say what I have to say, let me first say that Dr. Mensa Otabil, in terms of those we call the fathers of faith in Ghana, he is my favorite. And he's my favorite because consistently his message has remained Christ and Christ alone, which to me is the core basis for our faith as Christians. But on this call, I would want to disagree with the man of God, respectively, on his views on the National Cathedral. Christians didn't say we didn't want a cathedral, but we were against the rot were against the unnecessary demolition to make way for a cathedral. We have said that we could have found any other place to build a cathedral for God. But when we demolish lawyers, judges, residents, diplomats at that particular location and pump about $90 million and all there is to show is a hole, then I don't think Dr. Otabil will expect Christians to support such projects. And there is a reason his colleagues pulled out of the board of trustees. I remember the Archbishop pulled out, Bishop Dr. Ward Mills did same, Eastwood Anaba did same. If everything was okay, I don't think these astute men of God, equal in stature with the likes of Dr. Otabil, would have pulled out. It means there was something, and that is what Christians were against. So Christians were not against the building of a cathedral to God, but were against mismanagement, the corruption that went on, and every bad thing that this project, brought about. So that is my little disagreement with the attitude. But of course, he remains my favorite man of God in this country because of his Christ. And that, for me, is the most important thing. What is his message? Christ and Christ alone. As for his political views, we all have our individual biases, and that is very okay.
All right, thank you so much. The voices you heard this morning is the Nathan Nunu. You had Dawn Winers and my co-host Bernard Agbemo Eduji. This is how we draw the curtain on today's edition of the Morning Focus. Always saying is that on behalf of the entire Morning Focus team, I want to say a big thank you to my guests, a big thank you to my viewers, my testers, my contributors, the callers, everybody that has made the Morning Focus the best of its kind. We are grateful. That has been the Morning Focus on MBN TV, your morning companion for news, ideas, policy, and issues that matters. Have a productive and a blessed day. My name is Ella Samuels. Good morning.